cringe. On this too.
So it's been a little while, but as of our last session, you are preparing to travel to the actual capital of the...
Yeah, we're going to Liso or something.
That's right.
Is that how do you spell it? L-A-S?
Lisso.
Okay, I spelled it right.
Because Castilla, Spain, and Portugal all at once. So why not?
Portugal? No.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave.
No, it's called pain. We all know it.
Spain. There you go. you got Sally.
Well, I just started thinking about how people who are learning English that speak French start laughing at their pain.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, you're suffering so much, Brad.
Yeah. Sally did the laugh, Lisa, where I'm calling it right now. Like when we wrap up tonight and we're ready to go to bed, she's going to rethink about this country being named Pain, and she's going to start snickering all over again.
So
she did this is going to be a returner laugh.
She did the boomerang laugh. It's coming back.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my. What are we watching?
Is she torturing my cat?
Cat torture
really.
cam.
There's a ape.
I don't want it.
Here.
Oh, no, I don't mind it personally. Lisa doesn't mind it, but Bella very much doesn't want it.
Stop fucking touching me. God.
You should go play with our son upstairs who has a lot of energy.
I will.
She's headbanging.
Our poor son is up there. And he really wants to play with someone who
She's
has too much
so
energy.
tolerant. It's so
He
funny.
tried
Yep.
an entire RedLl.
She's offering the most
Antagonizing.
token resistance ever.
That's the human taste.
That
Must clean.
get the stink off.
Well, that's my
Woman.
favorite. It's like, nah, you got me in that spot. It's hard to reach. Damn it, Mom.
Okay, good luck. I
Amazing.
tried. You have
All
no one
right,
to-
sweetie.
you have no one to blame but yourself. Bye.
So yes, you're now planning a little trip to Liso to try to rein in the administrative capital
I'm not
to
sure
your little
what
separation
else we have to
movement.
plan at this point.
Well, we made a time skip as we discussed last time. There's a couple of things that were done. You're going to have a couple of travel partners because you're bringing back Governor Perez because that's his actual seat of power is in Liso. Inquisitor Mazabi has also expressed interest in joining because
I mean, and Laundreview is going to be there because we can't take Perez without his boy.
yeah, well,
Like, that
Without
doesn't
his-
work.
Bodyguard.
that's
Mhm.
right.
Wink.
They like to hold his body against him. It's
Mhm.
true.
I mean, at this
Keep him
point,
close.
poor man only's got one hand, so he needs help getting dressed up. He needs,
Mhm.
And down.
and down. Oh no, he doesn't need help getting dressed down.
Oh, so real quick, I just found out about this yesterday, and it's been blowing my mind since yesterday. So I found out, and you'll all appreciate this, that the #1 selling romance manga on Amazon right now is a yaoi called Dick Fight Island.
Yes.
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 Okay,
Hold
like,
on.
immediately I was like, okay, where is this?
You gotta Google
Where
it.
you know?
Right.
The Japanese title is actually just The 8 Warriors, but apparently that wasn't spicy enough for the English
Dick
publisher.
Fight Island Volume
Dick
1.
Fight Island.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right.
It's
I
One.
totally
a
went
country
back.
on an archipelago made of 8 islands, and the way they decide who's king is each island sends a warrior, and they have like gay sex fights where whoever comes
They
first
have
loses
the gay
to
sex
the last
fights.
person to
Oh
order.
my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
And they wear crazy dick armor.
I've got it up right here if you want to
Oh
come
Yes.
see it.
my god.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's just amazing.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
even
King
talk.
of Dick
I
Fight.
can't even
Yes.
English.
No.
Tournament anime with
I mean,
like customized dick armor,
I'm into
like
it.
you know it, right?
The premise
Like,
makes perfect sense. Whoever comes
It was
first
like
comes last.
3 a.m, and I discovered that this existed. And I was
Designed-
here in my house alone, just being like, someone else needs to know about dick
I
flash.
was alone.
The champions go into their fights with armor that was designed for the manhood growing larger and more elaborate by the year.
Oh dear. Wait. The battles are made more interesting because as you realize, you realize, wow, this bonkers manga is actually giving a fantasy realm methodology behind Let's Touch Dicks.
However,
I
in
have
keeping with the
characters
local
I want to
custom,
fuck with, and oh my lord, do I have favorites? What am I
men wearing
concerned
clothes to
about?
buttocks.
That's rooting for. I need this. I need it.
Yeah, they all wear armor that has like a weird thing over their dick, but then their butts are exposed because it's considered a sign of
Manly.
manliness to have your ass hanging out.
The story's central character is Hart, member of the Jewel tribe, who's been studying abroad for years. That's abroad, one word, not two. For 4 years, and returned to take part in the tournament. Oh, he shows up with some of those secret moves from the mainland. Advanced techniques they don't teach you on the archipelago.
oh yeah, that cover. I just saw the cover
Yep.
for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
The Marys,
Mm.
the whole
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did. As they should. Hard hitting journalism. That deep investigative research.
Well, here's the thing that people order.
Oh no, thank you.
They have, like, all the
Oh,
I don't need to look at the Tumblr posts.
Hi,
Thank
hi.
you. No, I'm good.
But apparently, it actually is very
Hi.
good character development. Is the thing.
Oh,
That's
see,
great.
these COD pieces, some of them, all I can think of is 7 now, and that's not cool.
Yeah, I was about to say that one with the knife is.
Yeah, that's no.
I don't like the one with the knife.
No, you gotta
Well-
start at like Bad Dragon, and like that's you know.
That's right. That's right. Well, Megan, you're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, no, thank you. This is the content that we
I
are.
can get it on Kindle if I want it faster.
Oh, you want it faster.
Yeah, but you're gonna lose if you want it faster.
That's
You're gonna
true.
not.
That-
I know
that's-
you.
I don't have a
Yeah.
dick. I'm not competing. I'm just
Well, it's-
watching.
it said whoever finishes first. Didn't say anything about dicks. And you know what? Because there's a girl there. Check that out. Does she compete? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, I think it's still a dude. It's
7,
just a
8.
twink.
Oh,
It's a
he
very,
is.
very
Oh,
girl.
look at that. He's got the dangly. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Mm.
Well,
Oh, I live for this analysis right now.
Wow.
wait,
Wow.
it's on an island, and Lisa's on an island, right?
No.
No, it's not.
Something's on an
It's an
island.
archipelago,
No.
yeah.
Vatachine City is on an island.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wait, that
That
makes
makes
it
sense.
worse.
But it also makes sense.
All right. Well,
Well, that.
Anyway,
you know,
sorry. I
good
had to
game,
get
guys.
that out there.
Good to see you all. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, there's no way we're gonna top
Good.
that.
Yeah,
So
no.
Yeah, well,
I started this conversation not knowing about this. Now I know about this. So victory.
On the lake?
Yeah.
No.
Don't worry. There's no dick.
There's actually no dick whatsoever.
Yeah, you should go ahead
I'm
and
gonna
click
click
on
on
it.
this link.
It's invigorating. That is the most upset you've looked while fanning so hard.
That
He's
is
like Terry cruising it. Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to talk about it until she clicks on it and looks. But yeah, totally.
Click on it. Well, hate me.
Roro's heart is
Back-
trembling with joy.
No.
Physics aren't just for the ladies.
I can't see to turn it off.
Wow.
I have to look at it to close it. No.
I had to close this window because that's all I'm
I
gonna be
tried to
fucking
close
looking
it,
at
and then
now.
10 billion other windows popped up.
Such a hypnotic pattern.
If anyone watches this on YouTube and wants to know, at Sneaky Centaur, and we will give you the link. So there you go.
That's right.
Enjoy.
I
safe
already
for work.
downloaded it on my phone. Endorsement.
Not really.
Ah,
They were so erect.
It's yeah. It's SFW question mark. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you probably don't want your coworkers / boss seeing this.
yeah,
but
I mean,
Depends on your work, I
Depends
guess.
on-
yeah,
where
I'm
you
like
Yeah.
most of us would be like, "What? Turn that off." You know.
Yeah, no, it's not safe for life because you're gonna just be distracted.
Yeah, it's mesmerizing.
Yep.
It's quite hypnotic.
So, according to
It's
Oh
weird.
no, here we go.
guy that it centers around,
Yeah,
is
Hart
like, oh,
from the
you know
Jewel
what?
Tribe.
I can be like, hey, like get all of you guys, and they're like, what? How? All of our penises are protected. He's like, I have discovered the prostate gland.
Oh yeah, he's
What's
figured.
that?
Spoilers. Gosh.
no, I was gonna read that tonight.
JC.
Well, all hail the Roto-Rooter.
Right. And whoever localized this, kudos to you, my friend.
Oh no, there's people doing the Lord's work or Satan's work or whoever.
Picking that title is
Yeah.
Maybe
That
they
is
just
true.
wanted
Satan
to
is
make
still
sure
a
no one
lord.
got it without realizing exactly what it was, because 8 Warrior or whatever does not sound like what it actually is.
right.
Doing Lil Nas X's work.
Don't
How am I
mistake.
supposed to buy thigh-high boots for my 8-year-old?
So
So
we're
yes.
going to
You're going
Bad
to
Bitch
Lizzo, which is not on the map. Is if you look, I mean, it's a canon city, but it's not on the world map. But if you want a reference as to where it is, if you look at San Felipe, all the way down south, Liso is basically on one of those two peninsulas on
seriously,
the
like, every time you guys say Lisa, I'm like,
east
what?
of the bay. I know. Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry, Lisa.
I'm just looking at these going like, hey, it looks kind of like 2 penises.
Well,
Because it's
it's
all
a,
your
It's
fault.
just on the
Yeah.
brain. Everyone's got
dwarfs-
peen on the brain.
it's a dwarf's penis.
Forked.
I mean, it's a peninsula, and this is on brand for us.
The northern or the southern tip?
The southern tip.
All right.
West Egg.
That's my special move.
What? So you're not a southpaw, you're a south tip.
Prehensile.
Prehensile.
Really unsettling. I really appreciate it.
You're-
Was that-
Of course it's Lisa.
Lisa's
It's worth
taking
it.
aggravated damage right now.
Yeah, okay, I'm stopping now. I'm stopping.
I'm
We're
sorry.
stopping.
We had so much purity the last few sessions. I think we're just making up for it. We've been
Yeah, I
banking
think
it
so.
for a month now.
That's right. So you've been planning for this trip. Zhenya also officially became a landowner in San Felipe.
The landowner.
Yep.
Alan.
So
Okay.
she's bought a whole neighborhood. There was some celebration that happened at an inn who may or may not get very busy in the
The
foreseeable
best
future.
bard
Yeah, I
ever.
would say before they leave, Zhenya should,
Best bard.
tell people that this is a thing, and if they want to meet there, then it's available to them.
Yep. So it's about to get back in business. Venya also met the house musician. Difficult to
Diego.
know if he's still on payroll or
Oh my
if he just
God.
never left after this.
Or if he's
started
just
attacking people.
Loitering.
I think
Right.
this was the guy who was playing at
I'm
the
very deaf.
at the restaurant.
They yelled at each other. A
Yeah, I'm
whole
gonna
lot.
share it right here.
Go for it.
Yes.
Pretty good.
So yeah, so that has all come down, and there's plans being drafted to start assigning some of these houses.
No.
Oh yeah, there we go. that
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that is a mustache.
Yeah.
that is
Is that a
that's
mustache?
Hair, a
Yeah.
hat.
No, it's mostly beard. No, it's a mustache. You're right. It's,
Yeah, no, that's a mustache.
It's a mustache that has supporting cast.
Some mustaches now merged and become a beard.
Yeah, that mustache is rolling in with the posse.
I'm
It's a
pretty sure.
camouflage.
I'm pretty sure that's not at all what he looks like, but that is definitely the energy.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Well, it is now, right? I can't unsee it.
Yeah, his dress is, think like, very proper Castilian.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's 100 degrees outside, and he's wearing black on black,
It's 100 degrees and he thinks he's Zorro.
basically. Wow, black on black with the the white accents,
Yeah,
wearing the cravat. He's
with that big lacy ass collar.
oh, he's
Oh, fancy.
he's going all in.
So this is blatantly inspired by, but it's still pretty freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause you're like, oh yeah, that's what's her name from, and it's like, oh wait, no, it's not.
That is cool.
She's cute. Anyway, sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
cool.
So, any business you want to make sure is taken care of before you leave, and have you decided how you're going to leave? I don't know. We reached a decision on that yet.
I think all I would do is make sure that that Leandro has everything he needs to run the place while I'm gone.
Sure.
But he doesn't really need much direction from me.
Yeah.
He was doing this before I ever started.
And you are leaving the boys with him, right?
Yeah.
Oscar and
And
Leo.
Lavinia. Because Lavinia
right.
needs some time with the other Strega.
That's right. So yeah, so we discussed this.
Mhm.
Zhenya, anything you want to do with your new land before you leave town?
If it takes us a few days to like leave, I would say that Zhenya wakes up at like dawn every morning and goes and like is landscaping, like weeding and things like this,
Yeah.
but is home for like breakfast. So basically, Ricardo doesn't get to wake up to her in the corner of the room anymore.
Yeah, no, there's 2-3 days between, just because the others sort of need to get some business in order before they leave town. So
Yeah.
you have a little bit of time. If that's your schedule for the next 2-3 days, Ricardo actually comes in and starts to do some repair work on the old house. There's a lot of like dusting inside and throwing out some old furniture that either needs to be repaired or replaced, so that there's a pile of junk that starts to appear in that middle courtyard as
Mhm.
he's going through it and start to do some work. Veronica also accompanies and helps wherever she can.
Yeah.
She's sort of assistant to you both.
I'll say Zhenya's doing most of this by hand. She's not using her like I control the plants now, but she's actually putting in the hard work because it feels better. So yeah.
Good.
I agree, it does.
So yeah, I mean, she works Dawn to breakfast. They go back, and then whatever. If there's planning, she stays for planning, but she'll probably go back and work at some point. But she's got a lot of work ahead of her. So she basically is like, Rethel knows what he's doing. I don't need to do too much input.
Perfect. Did you share the news with the rest of the group?
Of course. I mean, when they get home, and then, Rethold and Veronica pretend to run up.
Right.
Oh, we've been running all day, promise.
Yep.
Of course she'd tell everyone.
All right. So yeah,
Aw.
you're all appraised of the new acquisition.
So, are you going to hire people now?
Hire people.
Because you have so much land to take care of.
I don't need anyone to help.
Just a thought.
Like, that's a weird thought. Have you ever seen me? No, just kidding.
I mean, okay, but
Yeah. She's gonna need that much land to keep herself busy.
And it's mostly like it's in town, right?
Yeah,
there's,
it's not like
greenery
farmland.
and it's they're mostly houses there. There's like a little chapel and there's some greenery, which will take work, but
I think at some point Zhenya white repaints the chapel just to spruce that up a bit.
Oh yeah, it needs work.
Yeah.
There's probably gonna need to be some.
I was like, is there
somewhat
anyone
like-
in the chapel? Like, does it still run?
Um,
Or is it too abandoned?
it's pretty well abandoned at this point. You think that there's still services happening out of here, like probably to serve some of the local population. There's a little schedule posted there, and it's definitely like it's sparse, right? Like there's not it doesn't operate on a continuous schedule. Like you see, like there's a service there about once a month, and it shows when you step inside. Like there's an effort to keep this thing clean and tidy, but when you step into like one side, you take a good whiff and you get like smells kind of damp like in here. Like it has like that some of that wood probably needs to be replaced.
Okay. Zhenya's gonna use one of her sorceries on the chapel specifically, which is Purify. I can cleanse a room of toxins, poisons, diseases, and dirt. The room is perfectly sterile after its use. Purify affects every surface, including inside closed and locked drawers. So she just
wow, nice.
she will purify, which is funny. She's like, this is not my thing, but I understand people like this, and I will make it nice for them.
Yeah. You
In every job that must be done.
yeah, you get that, right? Like even though your family is pretty much old school, you know some of the Orthodox back home that like this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
their family too, right?
Mhm.
So
And I know that this is important to Ricardo, so obviously I would make it special for him.
yeah,
So
at least they're not wearing the weird hats. That's the part that you have trouble reconciling.
I have such a hard time with hats. Ricardo's is fine, but what is
Right.
this?
Like the old men back home are just like that's weird.
No, I don't like this.
All right, so that will keep you busy for a few days.
Yeah.
Have you all decided what means you are going to take to get up there? Technically, you have ships of your own now. You can
Oh.
charter a ship. You can ask any of your traveling companions if they want to take you on board one of theirs. Like there's a number of ways you can do
Is it
this.
faster by horse or by ship?
Probably by ship.
Looking at the map, I would say by ship is probably way faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mostly because there's mountainous terrain. If you go by horse, you basically have to go up along the bay, and there's some mountainous area there that will probably slow you down. So going around into the bay by ship is probably faster.
So originally we talked about sending someone that night ahead to
Yep.
to sort of stir up the town and get them hyped.
Yep.
And now I'm wondering if we don't want to roll in as a small squadron, just our ships plus La Belle and Blanche, and then and then a portion of the Crows can and the Odyssean Guard can disembark and set up camp outside as sort of part of the fanfare that officially this region is still part of the crown and still loyal to the church, but is aware that because of some actions of the people in the church, it's made people mad, things that Rethel wouldn't enunciate, but make sense to other people who would be cleverer than Rethel.
Sasha just opened my door to open it and walked away.
Out. Done.
I'm here.
Teenagers.
Well, she's been in here on the bed, and so the door was mostly closed, and now she just opened it all the way and went back and sat on the bed.
Oh my gosh.
Need to see outside.
Okay, it's still
From
there.
the inside of her eyelids. Anyway.
Yeah, you can basically arrange that. I think Rethel, if you'll be the most likely to give those orders, so you can decide which ships accompany you.
Does anyone else have a preference to one over the other, or?
I mean, Zhenya always prefers to travel by land, but if it's faster, she doesn't have a problem with the boat.
I mean, Himena always wants to get on the boat. So.
Evine?
Evine's already there.
Yeah, it's true.
Probably.
She's
Yeah,
sitting
I
on a
don't- I don't
rooftop
have a
cleaning her
preference.
nails.
Right.
What took
They
you so
are
long?
bastards.
Don't know when they'll get here.
Right.
She doesn't exist until we say her name.
You mention Evine,
Yep.
and somebody says, "What do you mean? She's been in Innismore like since 3 weeks ago."
Yeah.
She never left.
Wow.
Right. And when you turn around at the table, there's a scarecrow with her cloak and hat. At the table.
Like a
Weirdly
pile of
enough,
food.
that scarecrow has been drinking booze.
What?
Just soaking it in.
How
Hey,
does she do it?
the scarecrow tips well. We don't mind. Scarecrow's welcome. Sounds
Well,
like
I think
ships
ship-
then. Oh,
I
sorry?
think ship is better. Better? What was that even? I think ship is better so we can prepare to leave if we must leave quickly.
As soon as it becomes sort of a, not even a consensus, just, no one's objecting, then Rethel gets excited and starts shouting at everyone and everything to get the fleet together.
A whole fleet.
Well, our 3 ships.
We have
So,
3?
Yeah, because we well, hold on, let me see.
The Gull, the Phoenix.
No, you're right. There's so technically there's only 2 ships to the Mendez, which is the Gull and the Phoenix, and then
Yeah.
we are allied with La Belle and the
The Ithri
Sable
boat.
Wren
the Ren.
is also.
Yes, the Wren. There you go.
It's also technically, I mean, not one of your ships. It's a free,
Right.
but
Yeah,
Right
but they hang
now-
out with us.
because of paperwork, they're sort of signed out as privateers working for Salvadora's company, so technically also your company.
So yeah, pretty much. We would want to. The Gull is already in port.
Yep.
And I think it was the Phoenix was still at the island.
Yep.
The Gull is super fast, so we can
Wing it.
Eh.
I'm gonna start describing birds at you. No.
Haven't you tortured me enough in the last hour?
I don't know. You were blushing a lot. So anyway,
He missed you.
how do we get everyone on ships, or would you just have everyone pile onto Lavelle and then do a transfer out at the edge of the peninsula? I guess.
La Baron Blanche is more than ready to
They're always
accommodate
ready.
any request you have. They're in a top mood at this point. Business is about to be booming.
Let's-
There's already talks about securing a privateering contracts in the Odyssean Navy for the time being. So the captain is negotiating the contract
Love it.
pretty hard.
All right.
Plus they just gutted a Inquisition ship that was drifting off at sea.
That's right. Is that
And
ship
they-
at all useful?
oh yeah,
Eh,
they
I
they're
guess so.
they're basically gonna turn it in to the authorities, more or less. They've already ripped everything that they wanted out of it, so they're like, do you want an extra ship? We're good. We got the supplies we wanted.
I mean, what's even left? Just a skeleton?
Yeah,
there-
we
there's
set it on
something.
fire.
Yes, that thing needs repairs.
But
But-
we do have a shipyard. We do have a shipyard. So
Yeah, and the bones are still good.
so if at all necessary, Mendes y Mendes can give a loan to San Felipe as part of retrofitting that ship, or buy it outright if they'd rather. But anyway, that's later. So yeah, we'll ask.
Well, as you're handling some of this business and you're traveling down, I'm assuming, are you making any visits to the guild offices at all?
I haven't recently, not since our dinner party. Do I get a Jose that needs me to head over there, or?
Well, not necessarily head over there, but you do have Jose Correo comes to you with a small message from the guild, and in short script on there, it just says very courteously that you may want to be aware that because of recent development reaching the ears of the guild, one Rethele Edge Totader is going to be coming to San Felipe
Oh fuck!
to discuss business ventures.
What? Oh, wait, I'm not there.
I turn like just mid stride, like this was the route I was taking anyway. Over to the guild office, and I stride in, and I ride up to the front desk. I'm like, "When is Rethele expected in?"
Well, we didn't get an exact estimate, but she's on a business venture and said she would be here within a month.
Okay. Okay, I can work with that. Okay.
The clerk is sort of goes from being bemused and then looking you work through this, starts to look a little worried. Like, is there something I should be doing?
Oh no, if it goes from bemused to worried, I'm like, You're not familiar with Breathalay?
I heard stories, but I can't imagine they're all true.
I've heard whispers on the wind.
I mean, by virtue of her rank alone, the bemused could go ahead and stay, but you should also be concerned for your own position because I can't fire you, but she can.
He sort of clears his throat a little bit, and he's like, "I admit I had not considered that."
I'm sure you guys have been nothing but delightful thus far, and you'll get glowing reviews from me. But I'm scared of her for my own reasons. You should be scared of her for your own reasons.
You get a thank you that is this close to cracking a little bit. You've sort of given him a little bit of an existential crisis suddenly that he hasn't considered.
Yeah.
And now he's like, you see playing on his features that he's considering, like, have we been delightful?
He starts
the whole time?
dusting this counter just absent-mindedly, like,
Yep.
I'm like,
has our service always been exemplary? Anything back?
oh, shit. Wasn't expecting a performance review. So yeah, basically I'm like, well, I'd like a little fear to keep you going, and I chuck him, and I'm like, thanks for the heads up. We'll see you later.
So yeah, that's just that little message as you start to organize business.
And as a result, I've had Correo with me, and I like pick him up so I can look him face to face. I'm like, go back to the office and tell Palabra that everything needs to be in exquisite order. And if see, I goofed and I forgot her last name. But yeah, I say if Rethea, I forget daughter, comes in and has questions, every question is answered right away. And if she has suggestions, you follow them to the letter. Pass that to Palabra and everyone else. Got it?
As you start to give those, he starts repeating them after you say like the exact wording.
Good.
Here. I'll do you a mercy.
I have it. I can pull it up in a second. Thank you. Eggtho, right? Eggtho.
For your notes.
No, I know this is my own fault. So that part, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not.
Did you make up this name and just not remember it?
Yeah, we've been sitting on it for 2 years now.
Why am I surprised though? I don't know.
Look at that last name. Tell me you would not forget it within 15 minutes.
How do you even say that?
Eggtho. Eggtho.
Yep. Eggtho doctor.
Sure.
So I'm communicating the gravity of this situation, and I'm like, you heard him within the month. So
Yep. No,
to
there's a repeat, and then once you're done, he is on his way immediately.
Yeah. Sort of hear the adage in my head that we fight on the battlefield and we fight in the merchant square as well. So,
Oh, absolutely. You've trained your crew well.
Yeah.
They know that this is a siege. They have to be ready.
mhm.
Everything needs to be shipshape all over the board.
Yeah. But so in that, yes, I'm like, okay, cool. We fit the goal for speed, and we're gonna bang out to Isla de San Jose, and then we're gonna get the Wren and the Phoenix, and then head north to meet La Belle and Blanche, because La Belle and Blanche is gonna pack itself to the gills with our dignitaries, as well as the fanciest crows and the fanciest guard, so that we make a good impression.
Oh yes, of course.
And then LaBelle and I imagine Mr. Inquisitor has his own conveyance.
Yep.
And so we'll meet them halfway so that we can do a little bit of unloading so we're not all jammed, but everyone isn't jammed on the bell, and then come in to Liso, all shiny and cool, and Squadron. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then
Perfect.
since everyone else seems on board with it, we're gonna pack up and leave on the Gull with the tide. So probably this evening.
Good. Plans are made. All the ship captains are debriefed and on board with this plan. Do you have something, Lisa? Okay. So
I scratched my I had an itch.
Well, it's something.
you can add one ship to your little flotilla, as the Retribution will be joining the fray. Inquisitor Mazabi
Of course, he has his own.
is basically thinks it's pretty funny to use the Inquisition's resources to do this, and is basically just leveraging
I'm liking him more and more.
one of the Inquisition's flagship on that. He even signed a written intent to basically say that the ship would be used in order to right the wrongs that were perpetrated against the people of southern Castile, and that as a faithful servant of the church, he could not think of a better use of this warship. So
Nice.
I love it. And if we do come back to a blockade, then we have even more juice to push through. I love it.
that's right. On board are basically a new crew, the old crew of the Retribution apparently having been gutted previously and just replaced with new folks. Some of them you recognize sort of peripherally as members of the Odyssean Liberation Movement, who have now enlisted in support of the Church of Theus, to sort of pally the recent loss of the Prophet Sword. So some of them have offered their services to protect the clergy on board. So yeah, anyone else has some last business to tackle before we set sail?
I think Jimena would probably leave Rodrigo here. Just because she's still not entirely, because, like, you know, he's still traumatized
Yep.
in several ways, and if any sort of fighting breaks out again, she's not that she doesn't think she can trust him, she just doesn't know if he'll like freeze up again or something like that, and she just doesn't want to like subject him to that again.
Sure.
So she's gonna leave him here with
The other men.
Augustina.
Aw.
Well, Augustina is all into this.
Oh, he's in good hands.
and
He's gonna be the best kitchen boy,
that's right.
or maybe the worst, because he'll just be eating everything.
right.
I'm
he'll-
pretty sure Augustina would just be okay with that, though.
That's true. That's true. Oh, what are we gonna do with
Xavier.
Augustina when we leave?
Xavier also offers to have him join in and earn his keep in some ways by helping him around the house with some of the stuff that needs doing.
Oh, you know the
Nice.
two Ice and Bully boys are going there for lunch, dinner, and breakfast every day. Augustina's
Oh,
got
yeah,
plenty
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
They're there all the time. They're not at the shop.
I meant like when Ricardo and I leave and take the lot
Yeah.
of you into homes. Like, what are we gonna do with Augustina?
Oh,
She's
can
not
work-
technically ours. She was already running that
Sure.
household.
she can
Yep.
do whatever she likes.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if she wants to come move with us in our like.
I mean, there will be a room for her in Jimena's house
That's true.
because
That's true.
A kitchen.
someone's gotta.
Specifically, that's the
someone's-
room. Is a kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
she'll
could just have like a little
bed.
cot like to the side somewhere.
Yep.
A hammock.
That's where she leaves.
In the pantry, maybe. You can use the space for two things.
Excuse me, Augustina.
Um,
Let me just. No, thank you. Good.
I just
good
need this
night.
cheese.
Good.
Thank you.
Augustina is very, for those of you who go back to the house, is her usual self with that. Xavier has been leaving more often than usual in the evenings. Genya, this is especially apparent to you because
I know his every
you-
move.
yeah, you keep an eye on the old man, and
Yeah.
he leaves.
I mean, we're friends now, kind of. I mean, we're not, I don't hate him any longer, but
He's probably gathering some sort of like support or resources for
Because-
them.
Genya isn't privy to what Jimena's privy to about who Xavier is and who Sebastian is.
Right.
So
Well, all of you heard that, right?
Hmm?
Most of you were within conversation shot when that happened.
Hmm.
But Genya might not have been.
no, I wasn't. Might be better.
Oscar at some point makes mention of it almost jokingly, and Augustina becomes very somber when that gets brought up, and almost to a hush just says, "Oh, it's the time of the year." He gets solemn around that time.
Hmm.
We both do, although I deal with it differently. And the boy sort of knows better than to poke at it and just lets it slide. But there's definitely something there that is maybe painful because she looks like she tries to look very busy doing something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's taken care of. Rodrigo will stay here at the house. He'll be very well attended to. Augustina tells you, Jimena, that even though he's going to be doing some working around the house, don't be surprised if he's heavier by the time you return.
It's like, oh, I don't think he will be. But thank you for thinking of it.
You get a half muffled due to food. I accept the challenge from the other end of the table. All right, Evine, any specific business you wanted to tackle?
No, I think that conversation she had was probably the main thing
Yeah,
with her contact. So I don't think there'd be anything else.
that's
Now,
right.
that's a real name.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yeah, so you got your whole ambassadorship to figure out at some point.
Mhm.
All right. So you will be leaving with the tide. So you all assemble. Are you leaving on the Gold? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I figured we'd take our team on the Gull with with just the basic crew, so that it would make good time over to the island, and grab the other two ships, head
Yeah.
back up, and then once we redistribute heads, we can all slide in to port at the same time.
Perfect. You notice that some, if you overlook some of the preparations for some of the other ships, some of them were handed a secondary flag to fly just in case, that has the colors of Odisseo. Just as an extra precaution.
That's probably a good thing.
But yeah, the goal is pretty much ready to go. The crew is eager to leave again, and you find yourself on the deck of the ship, leaving port with your usual crew. It is not long as you're starting to pull away from San Felipe before Ricardo is leaning over the railing, Veronica with him, and he's just looking at the coastline, and he's like, this is starting to feel more and more like commonplace at this point. You realize how long I've been stationed down here without traveling this much, and it feels like I've been doing it so much in the past year.
Why do you think I always carry the very large pack on my back? I don't know what it's like to stay in one place anymore.
Well, maybe you'll find out.
That is the adventure I'm hoping for.
You get like a ugh from Veronica, and she switches side to the other side of the boat.
I'm tying something off when Veronica comes over. I'm like, that's why ships are good. Because then they're like a house. And then I just walk away.
You get a nod as she busies herself to the other side of the ship.
Are you trying to make Veronica a pirate? Like,
She chooses her own path. You know, I'm just presenting her with options.
heavily presented options.
I mean, I didn't have a ship till recently. I'm enjoying it. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it so much I got a couple of them. It's a pretty nice deal.
that's right.
Just saying.
I like it so much I bought a few.
Right.
Well, bought.
Commandeered.
Right. I found them.
It's nautical time.
Right. Oh, no. At sea, it's acquisition.
That's right. Rethel's calculations are correct. The ship is fast and travel feels good. You're making great time as you feel like you're zipping past the coast. Feels nice to get back on open water again, especially for Rethold, who enjoys it. Jimena feels like your second home again. Although you do find yourself missing your crew a little. You keep
This one-
expecting some of the snide remarks from your mentor and bellowing from Magnus.
Has Jorge come back from his vision quest yet?
Oh yeah.
No, he has not.
From
Okay.
your vision quest.
But-
From his vision quest.
Jimena,
Yeah.
it is funny you mentioned this because
Because he pops out of the woodwork
as
right now.
a superstitious Theus fearing Castilian, the moment you mention that, the wind shifts, and you hear the cry of an albatross somewhere in the distance.
What?
Oh no. She crocked
Um,
herself.
Do I have to spend a hero point? Do we have bad juju? Like, do I need to cancel this out?
Well, albatross is good luck as long as you don't kill it.
Yeah, okay.
That's right.
No, yeah.
That's right. No, you
Gonna
don't
name the ship the
feel. You
Albatross.
don't feel. This is an ill omen, but this is an omen nonetheless, Jimena. You're convinced of it.
You cross yourself.
Yeah. She says a quick prayer under her breath. You know, nice silent prayer.
Yeah, you
We all
will.
hope
You
that
will
boy-
understand in short order why it is funny that Jorge is coming back now.
You already thought of it.
So, after about a day on open water, you're doing your usual business, and you actually get brought to attention by some yelling from the crow's nest and message relayed from the rest of the crew that there are a few ships ahead who seem to be engaged in some sort of scuffle. There's a few ship that seem to be flying the colors of the Castilian Armada. Pursuing another ship that also is flying Castilian colors, although probably privately owned. They seem to be trying to cut off this particular ship. There is also, so there's 3 ships flying the Armada colors. 1 privately owned Castilian ship, and 1 other ship, much smaller, in doesn't seem to be in as good shape, but by gods, is that ship being an annoyance to the Armada ships. Its flying colors, the Vigil does not recognize, which Rethold immediately tells you this is a privateer or a pirate ship. It has a custom insignia on it that looks like a sword cleaving through what looks like a map. Yeah, this ship doesn't seem like it's in. It seems like it took a beating, but it's buzzing about and basically being a nuisance, almost like as if trying to help that ship who's getting pelted by the 3 Armada ships.
Okay, then.
Crap. Okay.
I can try to get a feel for the situation.
Well, if anybody wants to roll anything, you can actually try to figure out what that other ship, the other Castilian ship is.
I do the fry squint out at this this thing.
What would I roll for that?
For you, Jimena, you can try to roll scholarship. If you have, any of you have sailing as well?
Can I roll warfare?
You can try. Yeah.
Okay.
Would it be wits and
Yep. It's
So as I'm fry squinting and we all roll, I basically just say out loud next to me, I go, Evine.
Yeah. Shit.
Okay, I'm here.
As soon as I hear the hello back, I'm like, and I slowly turn to look over towards Marilena because I'm pretty sure she's already doing the
Doing
thing.
something, yeah.
Um,
So do I have to roll anything?
I'm like, hey, maybe you could pop over to one of them and see what's going on and let us know.
Ah, yes.
Thanks.
Jimena got 5 raises for wit plus failing.
Wits plus warfare, I got 6.
6.
Oh damn, I got fucked up.
I rolled like 2 8s and 2 7s and a bunch of scraggly bits. But at least 8 and 7 is 15.
Reroll single die. That's 15. So one more. All right, hold on. I have a lot of dice.
No.
Oh, I'm Tony.
Oh, I'm other people. Let's see here. Whatever. We all roll a bunch of dice.
Sick burn.
Ah.
That's what I do.
It's a good thing we're on the ocean, or else this ship would have gone up in flames.
I mean, it can still go up in
Um,
flames even if we're on the ocean.
Well, it's easier to put it out.
John, did you say scholarship was a possibility?
Yep.
Okay, then I got 7.
Why do you always have to outroll me?
Sorry.
It's always like I'm excited over here that I got 6, and she's like,
I have like 3 stats that I've actually put points into. I just happen to use always.
"Yeah, I know."
You know.
I have 1 point in scholarship, and that's because Jenya's good at languages.
Yeah.
That's it.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10 raises.
Oh yeah. Wow. Well, most of you rolled above the threshold, so you all come at it from different directions.
It just becomes the war council on the railing there. It's like,
Basically,
yeah.
you all have sort of different experiences. Jimena has stopped in port with La Baronne Blanche and had contact with this group previously. Genia, you've encountered some of their people during one of the military missions you were a part of when one of their ships was basically being blockaded at land, and you had to liberate it alongside some of your fellow soldiers. Evine, that was part of your research before Queen Elaine has sent you down to Odisseo. So in your quest to absorb as much information as possible, you've come across this particular group, and of course Rethold. You just know that because you know everything about trade. This is when you travel down to Castille, you made it a point to study all the major players.
Yeah.
And it happens that this is one of them. The Resendes trading company based out of Liso is flying those colors, which makes it doubly odd that they're being pursued by the Armada because they are tackling business and serving the interest of the crown. They're known loyalists to good King Sandoval. Not so much to Cardinal Verdugo, but they're really loyal to the crown of Castile. And here they are now, clearly running for dear life. Rethold, you basically see that pattern there, and they're like, yeah, they're not letting that ship go. It's not a capture the ship. It's a let's take that sumbitch down pattern that the Armada is employing. Jimena, the Albatross lets out a cry somewhere in the distance.
Oh boy.
Is it that weird like anime phoenix cry?
Basically,
That they use for every bird. Yeah.
right? The one bird cry.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Wilhelm scream of bird cries.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. The eagle, hawk, seagull.
I don't like that. I'm not gonna sleep tonight now.
Seagull hawk for sure.
Not really, Lisa. Eagle, hawk, seagull is not real.
Jimena has like a moment of like she hears the call and she's like, we need to help.
What do I feel like we need to help?
Oh yeah.
You're getting pattern sight. Are you focusing on one ship in particular? There's a lot at play here.
All right. I think I would be focusing on the one that is actually taking the most damage because they would be the one that we would help, I guess.
Well, as damaged as the pirate ship is, the one that is most distressed, which is clear to you, is the Resendes company ship.
Okay. Well, so that one then.
You sense, so you're focusing on that. There's a lot of fear happening on that ship. But it's not just fear of death.
Okay.
You feel that the people on board feel something great will be lost if they get sent under. So while there is a healthy amount of fear for people's lives, the people on board are protecting something that they feel is greater.
Okay. One more question. Can I tell with the pattern sight what the relationship between that ship and the pirate one is? Like, are they allies? Is this like a weak connection? What is going on there?
I can give you that one. The connection is weak. They don't seem necessarily to know who these people are, but they're basically fighting to protect them. The pirate ship is basically trying to intercede into this battle.
Okay. Well, what I can surmise is the ship that is being attacked by the other three from the Armada is fighting for something they think is very important. They're holding something, transporting something probably, or protecting it. But they are terrified that if they lose this battle, they will lose this thing they are protecting. So they are fighting for their lives for that reason. The pirate ship is on their side, but doesn't know them personally. So there are only two sides in this battle, I suppose I should say.
So I'm guessing the Gull is also a pretty nimble ship, probably similar to the pirate, for lack of a better term.
Yep.
So unless someone else has ideas, my current is to signal the pirate ship to go on a joint run across one of the outside of the three. I'm guessing these are larger warships, so they're not as nimble, but they can definitely tear you apart if you get too close. Gotcha.
Basically, they're military ships.
Okay. So basically, what I want to signal to the pirate ship to have us do a strafing run on one of the outside ships, and then we break behind the center one, have Jimena light up their sails so they're dead in the water, and then on the third one on the outside, we grapple their stern and basically pit maneuver them so that they're turned the wrong direction and try and becalm them. And then from there we'll see which ship is the most jacked up and go to work.
Perfect.
How would we communicate this to the pirate? I guess we could whisper to Evine.
Flags. Same way you communicate to, or basically just we're like signal them, let them know that we're making this run, and
Yep. And you're making an approach, so you're gonna get seen pretty soon. So they're gonna try to identify what your intent is.
Okay.
And even before we were given the Odyssean flags, these ships all have Odyssean banners associated because I knew this was coming a mile away.
Jimena, because you've spent significant time in this bay on the seas, roll me an additional either wits, scholarship, or sailing. There's a chance Jimena might know that pirate ship banner.
Oh god. Not any better. Fine. I hate it. She only got 3.
You got 3. You're not 100% sure, but the banner seems very similar to one that was described to you before. And you're just based on what's happening here, you kind of want to lend credence to that theory. If you're correct, that is the banner of the Liberación, the ship of Alejandro de Leon, a crazy fucker who's been talking about separation for Odisseo for what seems to be like decades. There's like stories about how like his love was tragically lost at some point due to some politician intervening, and he's now taken to the seas to right this wrong and fight for Odisseo, even though technically they don't want him. He doesn't care. And the legends tell you that that fucker's crazy. He's burned through more ships than anybody can count.
Oh no.
He uses like crazy tactics to get shit done. Legend around his lost love is partially apocryphal because you think it came to be because people are trying to explain why he seems to want to die so much. But it's
one of those like, wait, I thought that. It's like, no, that's not how I heard it. Like,
yep,
you were
basically.
both wrong. It was this.
Basically, to all outsiders, he wants Odisseo to separate from Castille really bad. And also, his way to try to prove it is to stick it to Castille as many times as he can in the most flamboyant, dangerous, harebrained schemes possible.
He's just like us.
Ramming flaming ships into other ships. Like there's so many tales of like suicide runs all the time.
Wow.
And somehow that fucker is still alive. Or maybe he's several people and they're just keeping the legend
Pirate
alive.
Roberts.
Yep.
Right. Who knows? Right? But that sword cleaving through a map you relate to everybody is literally, it's not like anything poetic. It's a Gallegos blade just physically cutting out Odisseo from the rest of Castille. It's as
Tells it like it
blatant-
is.
Is it a metaphor? No.
No,
Is this like
It's
the,
like-
the Calvin
as it can
cheating
get.
on stuff?
Well,
Yeah.
if I'm not
Bumper sticker.
mistaken, That ship belongs to a crazy man who does, agree with our cause for the most part, but I don't know that we want his kind of crazy. But we should still definitely help them because there's very obviously something important over there. The birds are calling like crazy.
Now I'm worried that she's caught the same disease that her mentor has.
Yeah, Shania's like, I have not heard the birds.
Jimena, the albatross cries again in the distance as
Turns her head
drag down people's
dramatically.
disbelief.
I'm calling it now.
He's there.
Your
There it is again.
your crush is on that ship. I'm calling it now.
Well, his crush is on me
Yeah.
Yeah.
because my crush is Sebastian. It's a whole thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no,
It's a whole thing.
it's glorious.
But
I
you're
can't
still
wait
like
for you to
at
have to
least like
choose.
siblings.
It's gonna be great.
She still has affection for Jorge, but he went off to prove himself as a man so he could come back and
That's right.
be
Oh.
worthy of her like
Yeah,
an
we
because
need
the
animal.
last
to
time-
see the final chapters of this
Yeah,
novella.
no, he's-
Like it needs to finish.
He's
Because
gonna
the
be
last
on that
time-
ship.
He got kissed. He got himself kissed by a fate witch and attracted mermaids to your ship.
He's gonna get ripped.
He's gonna be super buff with like a scar on his face
Mhm.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then that scar is gonna have a scar.
You know,
Right.
you know how the story goes.
No, it's a scar
the
that
beat.
goes down to his neck, and like it hit his throat, so like he now has a husk.
It's,
Oh my goodness.
That's the shit.
You're welcome.
Yeah, right?
you know the beats.
I know.
You know how this goes.
Bitches love scars. You're right.
My camera's not on, but you should know that I'm the one blushing now.
You're welcome.
You know,
That's what
We
do.
can kind of hear it a little bit.
you know that not all of you are wrong.
Oh no!
I killed Jorge off screen. It's tragic. So
Not
there's
to be
a very
conflicted.
big scar.
No.
The-
You know the beats this story has to take. Oh, great.
Don't worry, John. If we find a girl in a box, we will continue to play the game.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That was session one.
that
We've
was
been
like, we
playing
did
for 3
throw the
fucking
box.
years.
It was
I ain't
funny.
Yeah,
worried,
fair enough. We're still playing that game. Yeah, fair enough.
right? I'm not worried.
We'll find ways to keep playing.
Shit, at some point
Um,
we're gonna put another person in a box. It's just how it goes.
We'll
That's
see how this
absolutely
combat goes. Yeah.
Since you're looking at the ship and trying to find like pattern sight, what Jimena is describing would match what you see if you look at that pirate ship.
All right. I mean, what does crazy look like in like
Oh,
in the tapestry? You know.
you don't feel crazy from that ship. You feel an irrepentant drive
Oh.
and an all-consuming hatred just driving the ship.
No, that's not crazy. That is true passion.
I imagine
Frightening though.
my headcanon currently is that he kind of looks like Mad Eye Moody, but more Spanish, like peg leg.
Nice. He's
Red
got like
hat.
a shirt that's
He
just
looks
like
like a fucking pirate.
Yeah.
I picture salt and pepper, and sort of crazy
Yeah.
hair, and real
Yeah,
bushy.
my
bushy.
Mad Eye Moody pirate is just
Mhm.
stuck in my head now. So that's
You,
that's my head canon too now.
You basically have like Castilian Captain Ahab trying
Yeah.
to sink an entire armada.
That's fair.
So yeah, so this is happening.
All right. So do we roll things to
Well, are you
send this signal?
first things first? You're trying to communicate, right? So the crew.
Evine. Does she pop over to the pirate, or I'm curious what her thought was when I asked her to go check things out.
Oh sure.
I think probably would have been to the pirate one. But
Perfect. You that is
Right.
doable.
Yeah.
Even you're looking at that, and you can probably pop on that ship.
Excellent.
It is a little bit of a ways, so it always makes you feel a little bit disoriented when you come on board, which is not helped because that ship is rocking like crazy and there's yelling on all fucking
I
sides.
should have anchored you before you left.
There's water splashing on board, and it is there. This crew is going at it. Your impression from afar is pretty much maintained here. That ship has seen better days, not because it's not well taken care of. The crew clearly takes care of it, but it has taken a beating. The spot where you stand, you can basically identify at least 3 refits that happen under your very feet, probably to repair holes, fire, other kind of things. This is a Frankenstein of a ship.
Ship of Theseus?
Pretty much.
Frankenstein.
There is a man yelling at everybody on board. Not in an aggressive manner. He's barking commands, and the crew is in sync. They are just taking that and somehow interpreting the barkings in a way that makes sense. He's about middle height. He's wearing a long coat that probably used to be fancy, but has now seen many horrors. He's not wearing a shirt underneath it, which exposes a chest filled with scars. His longish hair is scraggly, and his beard must have been well tended at some point, but at this point is just growing wild in a way that makes it seem like he's got 2 big mutton chops and then a point coming down.
Yes.
Wait, this guy is
Fighting-
the one that looks like Redis. Okay, got it.
Fighting the trope. Nope. Fighting the trope. He's missing an eye, but is not wearing an eye patch, bringing shame to piratery everywhere.
But he does have this weird, like, contraption stuck in his eye.
No, none of that
No,
either.
man.
No,
He's-
just an empty eye socket.
Basically, yeah, it's an MTI socket that has like cord like material like going through. It's kind of gnarly. And the moment he sees you, he yells at the crew, and before you know it, there's multiple pistols leveraged toward you. As you popped.
Don't say anything.
Right.
Just Homer Simpson back into the shadow. Just
Right.
That's exactly what I was thinking. No sudden movements.
You hear the Castilian word for spy getting uttered a couple of times.
you're correct,
I
but
really wish that I anchored.
It's like, you're not wrong, but, it's a good spy.
Right.
Friendly spy.
And then
she
the-
would definitely slowly put her hands up and try to look innocent. She is
magically-
looking innocent.
Like you magically appear on their board and you're like, I'm a friend.
the
Oh, I'm not shooting at them.
the man doesn't stop shouting, but basically says to you, Evine, you have 2 sentences to explain why you're on my ship. We don't have time to deal with this. If it's not good, we're shooting you, and that's just the end of it.
All right.
I guess that's fair. Oh.
Evine starts counting.
I am. She's like counting words. I am in a unique position to offer assistance. I'm from that ship over there.
Yep.
Perfect.
There's like a moment where he looks over his shoulder.
Like slowly,
And-
like he doesn't trust it, right? Like,
Yeah. And you see somebody hanging over the railing, like sort of looking in the direction of the ship. And there's like a sort of a slow nod.
Hopefully somebody over there is doing the flags now. It's a
Yeah.
good time to look.
I
Oh,
could
yeah.
do my shadow whisper like, not here, Christian. Do the flag thing."
he actually walks closer to you now. You notice that he's also barefoot.
Of course.
smart.
Like, yeah, he's basically wearing trousers and a coat with all of his weapons on there. This seems like a man who's prepared to go overboard at a moment's notice. He looks at you and he's like, all right, you've earned yourself a few more sentences. Start talking.
Oh.
Well, then. Seems like you're in need of an ally. No strings.
In the flags, it says, also, please don't kill our spy.
I mean, friendly visitor.
I mean, our
Not
overt operative.
Our attaché.
Right?
Right.
You on the ship,
Go parlay.
even you get the Capitan. They say not to kill the spy.
Nice.
He says, "I'll take it under advisement. Thank you."
That's fair. That's fair.
It sort of looks like he's sizing you up, and he's like, "Let me correct you on one point. The Liberacion needs no help.
Oh,
Although I like no strings attached."
I'm not saying you need help. I'm just saying that
exactly.
we can.
We're here. You're here. We hate those guys. You obviously hate those guys.
We can hate them together. Please don't attack us.
How do you feel about sticking it to the Castilian Armada?
Excellent.
Just as
Brilliant.
just the flags are like, we're going to help you attack the ship.
If that's your intent, then you have your alliance. I suppose you came in with a plan. What is it?
Well, we have someone who starts
Hmm.
fires. We have someone who takes down.
Yeah.
We have
Aveen
two people
whispers
who
to the
take
shadow.
down crowds of people.
To be honest with you, I was
No
just trying to
plan.
figure out what was happening. We usually wing it. It goes pretty well.
There
Actually,
is
this will probably go well for this.
there is a
this
long
guy.
pause. No one on the crew says a damn thing. Even the guy looking at the flags has stopped relaying messages.
The gull has already started trying to line up with this ship's tack. Like, it's happening.
The girl's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, how you doing?"
And then he just erupts in raucous laughter and says, "Good for me. That's my strategy as well. Just if you see our ship start to pick speed, steer clear. That's all I ask."
Sounds good. Oh, if you want some specific instructions, whisper it to a shadow. Trust me, we'll hear you.
You hear somebody from the crew's like, "Don't do that, Captain."
The one less devout person on board is like, oh no. Oh no.
That seems like a curse. I'm not sure we should do that.
But I mean, like
And you get-
a literal shadow, not like a dark creature or something. Just, Cup your hand, even. That's a shadow.
You get in response from the captain, you know the rules. Even if we have to ally with Legion himself to take down the Castilians, then by Theus we will. And you get like this again. Right?
Yes,
Little does he know you have him
Bro.
on your ship,
Yes,
because
yes, we
now I
know.
can swarm.
Yes, yes, we
I
know.
can
To
promise
the death,
you.
we know.
Yeah. I can promise you, you're not aligned with any sort of creepy crawlies or ghosts or dark forces.
The more
Just,
you say that, the more it sounds like you super are.
Also, you
Right.
kind of are.
No strings. Wink, wink.
You're not supposed to say
He's
wink,
like-
wink.
As he turns back
She
towards
definitely
the
does not say that
battle, he's like, less is more. Keep some of the mystique. You're killing it, lass.
I just don't often get a chance to talk to new people. Sorry.
Mostly just killing them, and you don't really talk much.
Yeah.
Aww.
Is there any sort of like cool flourishy archery thing she could do from that position, like to the other ship before she ducks back in, just to be like, see, we're good, promise.
Oh, absolutely. If you'd like to roll a, let's go with panache for this one with
Yeah.
aim.
Even right outside of their gun range, you are probably well within shooting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Mhm.
We got the anime crew coming in now. Bears
Yep.
and fire and axes
Oh,
and
that's right. That's
trick
right.
shots and making
Yeah.
people fall over for no reason.
That's right.
Suddenly decide that they're having an existential crisis.
Yeah, fire wizard, battle chanter, talking animals.
Need my calculator.
I think at some point Ricardo's going to start learning like Genya speech in animal form.
Oh, totally. You know he's starting to work on it.
Yeah,
Aw.
they marital spat in mouse.
Right. I'm out of here. Just skitter off.
8.
To the
Like,
mouse.
the little mouse, like, you're bringing that up again?
Right.
I already apologized.
Don't
Your
you
marital
look at me in
spat.
that voice.
The marital spat is a lot more dramatic when your wife turns into a bear and fucking destroy your dining table before leaving.
I mean,
Good thing
she
you
made
also
it. She can destroy it if she
Right.
wants it.
You're right again.
She could also fix it right after she's destroyed
Yeah,
it.
Basically.
Yep. She giveth and taketh away.
It's almost worse when she fixes it than when she breaks it, because she still maintains eye contact. Just
Yeah. It takes an uncomfortably long time to.
I know she can do it faster. I've seen it.
No, you're going to watch
Just-
me every stroke.
Yeah. She just
Just an
makes it.
8 if you did not.
Like, look at me repair this table that you made me break.
You should have known better.
Eight for for
Yes,
what are you, Evine?
What are you? You
Forgot.
got 8?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You get a effortless just flourish, and the bow is drawn, and like, again, this is an anime moment because you do like a quick spin and you're on one knee and the bow is drawn and it hits one of the ship. You hear a Willem scream from somewhere. You're not exactly sure who you hit because it's, even for your crazy eyes, it's far, but you hit
Yep.
someone because there's a Willem scream and a splash. Yep.
Accompanied by the bird noise.
I need my authenticity, man.
Perfect.
At least it's not a goofy scream.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get some more laughter from the boat as you vanish, and you hear the captain, as you're returning to the ship, launching into yet another tirade about how the tide of battle has turned, but the plan has not changed. So, yeah. And then you're back aboard the Gull. Again, takes a couple of seconds for you to readjust to this environment. The Gull is admirably steady comparatively. It's such a smooth sailing.
Very different energy.
Yep.
Totally
Jen is
different.
limbering up.
Not 100% different. They're somewhere along the same spectrum, but
She's not as manic.
They have accepted our help.
I go, ha! Oh, good.
Yeah, it doesn't make a sound. She's just there.
I know, like,
I think it's worse somehow.
I'd put a bell on her, but it wouldn't help at all. She does it just as a joke.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
She's like decked out in bells, actually.
Yeah.
Pockets
Never
are
hear any of
full.
them.
Yep.
She's like, the clothes are getting heavy. Like, can you stop?
She looks like a ridiculous anime cat girl, and you're just like,
Yep.
but no sound.
No sound whatsoever. It's
Yeah.
a bummer during the holidays. The
We're gonna
sleigh
tie a
is very
balloon.
sad.
To her wrist so we can see it bobbing about.
Right?
It
But
won't
we
make any
won't.
noise.
But we won't. It'll still just be like this balloon flaps you in the face. God.
Yep. Basically. All right. So the ship is coming to bear. You're planning a strafing run. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes. We are gonna match. We're actually 1, 2, 3.
Is the goal to unload as much of your anime personnel on one of these ships?
Only if they wish to. So we're gonna catch up with the Liberation, overtake it so that we can take the brunt of the broadside from the end ship, since we have no damage on us yet.
Yep.
We will also broadside to just to put some pepper on them, and then swoop around to the stern of the center ship, where Jimena can go to work. If anyone wants to disembark, they may. But the third one, we're actually gonna throw hooks and lines to use our momentum to push it off course, and maybe even
Perfect.
into the second ship. Who knows? We'll just see what happens, and then we'll go from there.
Wait, what was that episode now in Avatar where they have like the airships knock into all the other airships?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's the last episode.
Yes,
Yep.
right.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So
Something's
Red
very
Bolt,
planned.
you're taking point on that sailing roll. If anybody else would like to assist that has sailing,
Jimena
you can
will.
do so. Ricardo is getting ready, getting the guns out. He took out his coat. No.
Guns out, guns out.
His coat just flies in a beautiful flutter,
Yep.
and then he has like 6 guns.
Yep.
It's very
Basically.
anime.
I
We
mean,
gotta
this is an anime now.
We gotta keep the anime scene.
What would that?
So is Veronica. Veronica is getting ready.
Which primary trait?
Yeah, what plus sailing?
Um,
Wouldn't that be a resolve?
Please
I'll
no.
go with wits and resolve.
Okay, wits, thank you.
Please no.
Unless you want to do some panache. You're trying to send a statement with that maneuver.
Oh, motherfuck. God.
Ooh. If Veronica and Ricardo are both readying themselves, Zhenya takes the minute to, as always, give them both a prayer and a kiss before she readies herself to throw herself into the throes of everything.
Yep. You get that returned. You feel a pang of pride, I would say, as you notice how steady your sister is in the midst of all this chaos.
Nice.
And then I got 4.
Is that an 11, Rippled?
11.
Wow.
Why?
Well, it
This is
is
business.
between the two of you.
Because I have max stats on
So wait, what are we doing? Are we rolling
several
the
traits. Plus
You will
sailing.
get to that right next.
Oh.
And I'm injured, so I
ship-
get bonus dice.
Under your guidance, between Rethold and Jimena, the ship follows the maneuver to the letter. It does result in a little bit of damage as you overtake, get around, and manage to put yourself in between the escaping ship and the pursuers, as you hear the detonation of cannons, and your ship does suffer some damage. Wood splinters get sent across, but you've basically shielded the other ship from any damage.
I would also like our flag person to signal to the Castilian ships that if they surrender now, they will be treated fairly and there will be no unnecessary executions.
Bloodshed.
Perfect. Oh yeah, with 10-11, they're doing that during the maneuver.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is happening.
I also get out of the ship and I walk alongside it while it keeps going.
Perfect. Doing the running man.
I ghost ride the ship.
I was like, if you surrender now, we won't unleash our beasts on you.
The ship banks hard. This will give any of you who want to jump or disembark at this point the perfect window to do so.
Off
Who
I
would be
go.
Embarking onto which one?
The center ship.
I'm sure we're close enough. Do these ships have names, or are we just going to go ABC?
We'll go to ABC for now. I don't know that you're seeing all the names, but they're basically like in a point formation, right? Like the middle ship is the one you're passing.
Mhm.
So that'll be, if you go like from the top of the point,
Right.
A, B, C. So yeah, you're passing ship A, and then you're gonna try to. The side ship was the one you're trying to knock off course, right?
Oh, actually, I thought they were in a line. So
Gotcha.
that's slightly,
Gotcha.
but that's fine. We would adjust the pattern slightly to start at one at the back on the end,
Okay.
which is where we take the broadside from,
Yep.
and then come in behind the other two. Gross. Well, hopefully they don't have any. Hopefully they don't have cannon prepped in there currently, because they're not expecting anyone to swoop in it. But whatever, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
Not you're fairly. I mean, you just rolled an 11 for your maneuver. You're fairly convinced that they don't, just because of the way they're arranged right now. Their formation suggests. I mean, they're not expecting a ship in the middle of their formation.
No, exactly.
Right? This is a wedge. There's a chance they would shoot at each other, the back two ships, if they were to fire those cannons. So,
which is also fun.
yeah, they're even if they are ready in that spot, it's unlikely that they will try, because there's a chance they'll fuck each other up.
But yeah, so not modifying the plan too much, then yeah, we will try to grapple and pit the lead,
Mm-hmm.
and then swinging out far enough to drag it should get us close enough to the third where Jimena can
Yep.
go to work.
Absolutely.
Which one am I jumping on? The one in the middle or the one on the side?
Well, if you want to jump onto C, which would be the one that we will not have yet had contact with. But
Okay.
I know you're good at ranged, so your call whether or not you want to go to town on him.
Yeah, C is going to be where you're going to be able to jump. Right now, the hooks are going to work on A, the top ship, to sort of drag it out.
Okay.
The way your maneuver happened, you halted the pursuit because you sort of passed in between, so in front of B, which is in the corner,
Okay.
forcing them to bank. You're hooking A and knocking it off its path, and you're now driving towards C, which is just you're going to be able to attack that one.
I still don't think I get what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm super. How many ships are present?
Can
There's
we
our
draw
ship.
something, like draw something and then take a
All
picture?
together, there's 6. There's
Okay.
3 baddies, us, and the 2 that we're helping.
Okay.
The 3 baddies are in a triangle,
Okay.
and we just sailed in between the back right corner
Yep.
and the guy in the front. So
Okay.
we knocked one ship with our ship, so we're now behind the front ship and going towards the left ship.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to take a picture
I'm
of this.
following her.
He's drawing something.
Yeah.
I think
Sasha.
I need this too.
Regardless, Jimena would like to. So once we're in a position where we're facing ship C and we're close enough to where jumping is a possibility,
Mm-hmm.
Jimena is going to basically back up to not the stern, but like up to where like the steps up to the keel would be. And she's going to sprint so that she can get maximum speed to get maximum distance so she can jump onto the other ship and 3-point land.
Oh, yeah.
Land.
Because she has sea legs, so no matter what's happening, she won't lose her footing while it's happening on the boat. So. I'm going to assume that would be panache plus athletics because she's
Yep.
definitely trying to show off.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
I'll take this picture.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's why I'm like looking at this. I'm not sure I understand how we took cannon fire. Or did we take it from C?
From B, because that's where you went.
We had to come around either B or C to get to A.
What?
You're basically in the middle now.
Do you have opinions? Hmm? Do you have opinions? All right. I was like, being close to a ship doesn't bother Zhenya. She'll get on a ship whether they're close to it or not. So.
And then I got 7. Technically 8. Cause, oh no, I get an extra die.
Sure.
Okay, so we took cannon fire from B.
Yep.
All right. Zhenya's gonna spend a hero point and crow it, and she's gonna go punch B in the face.
Okay. You're leaving Genia at B.
Yeah, and then I got 8.
Okay.
Somewhere in the back of Rethold's mind, you hear, "We can get all 3 of these ships. Fucking dope."
Then you better tell Zhenya not to hurt the ship too much because
No. We got work to do.
okay.
It's okay. I'm not stressing it. You know, you dream big, expectations low. Punch the shit out of that ship, Jen, and do your thing.
Reach for the stars and you'll always fall on the moon
Yeah, however
or something
that
of
goes.
that nature. Yeah.
All right. So your Genia will crow and try to drop on ship B as you're passing by.
Yep.
Jimena is gonna get on board C. What is everybody else's approach?
Wait, I'll let someone else go before me.
I'll also hook up on over to C.
So
Okay.
2 on C, 1 on B.
Yep.
Maybe in like a either unoccupied or soon to be unoccupied crow's nest or something.
Yeah. Are you physically jumping on that ship, or are you gonna try?
I'm gonna try if there's like if it's a time of day that there's enough of a shadow of like the pole or something over the crow's nest, then I'll just shadow on up to it.
Yep, you can actually do that. If you want to take a post up on the ship, you'll be able to port over, and then you can roll me athletics to scamper up and find yourself a good
Okay.
shooting position. That'll be with finesse. Can you assume the plan is to crow and then
Fall into a group of people and start
start
taking
to
them down.
wrestle?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can roll me brawn and brawl.
I'm gonna activate Boxer and just
Okay.
ready, set, fists.
Ready, set, first.
Yeah.
All right. And Marilena?
I don't know. This might be a long shot, but can I actually see who, like, any of the ship captains from where I am?
Roll me a wit's notice.
Is this
10
my action or my?
No,
Okay.
it won't be.
Preliminary. Okay.
Just to see what you can do.
All right.
Rethold, are you staying on board to guide the crew?
Just for now, yeah, to make sure
Okay.
that to see what happens after
Okay.
we've dispersed our first
Yeah,
pair.
if you want to roll just like another sail roll, I'll let you define what that looks like
Right.
based on other folks' actions. Yeah.
Really bad rolls.
And while everybody is rolling this, I'm gonna go visit the restroom here for a second.
Okay.
Mhm.
One, two.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
No.
Everybody poops.
Everyone poops. That's the
Nobody
book.
poops except you, and you should feel shame.
Womp womp.
Okay.
I went pee before we started.
You all better go before we leave because we're not turning this game around. Right. All right. All right.
Sure.
Mom, I have to pee.
Numbers.
You said you didn't. I didn't then.
Numbers. Oh yeah, 4, 6. Yeah. All right. Yeah, sure. Oh no. Boo.
Oh, I got 6. Looks like
When you're like, I can't math good enough to make one more success out of this,
Right?
but there should be one in there.
sometimes it's not math though. Sometimes it's just not there.
No, but I rolled high enough. There should be one more. This little guy. He's got to fit in there somewhere. He can't just be a 0. No, it's not. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's better to have like a range of numbers, not like too many low ones or too many high ones.
Right?
Like rolling lots of 9s really sucks.
Right.
Right? Because you're like, well, cool, but like it's not like it like 15s equal 2, but it's not like 20s equal 3.
Yeah.
Like all these 18s don't help me.
Yeah. Oh, hey, since we're sort of on a break, Rabbit.
I think she went pee also.
Oh, I thought I just heard Lisa.
I did not.
Ooh.
Oh, there.
Yeah, she's already in the
here.
bathroom, so she's good.
I'm always in the bathroom.
My secret cap. I've got like 2 2.5 character ideas.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna Slack you the character ideas. I'm gonna Discord you.
Mhm.
And when you get a minute, I would like your input, questions, and thoughts on them.
Yes.
I only have one idea, and I think it's pretty awesome, and it's an assist from him a little, but I will also tell you later.
Yay.
But yeah,
Is that an 8? Yeah.
I got 6 for
Okay.
my wits plus notice.
And minus 7.
7. Okay. We get a 10 from Rethel. Perfect. Okay, so Marilena, you're pretty sure you can see the captains from B and C.
Okay.
You're sort of behind A, so that makes it a little bit more tricky.
Okay. I'm gonna see. So am I close enough that I can pull the captain off B?
Okay. Yes, you are.
What do I roll for that though?
Roll me resolve
I got lots of that.
and roll weaponry. You're using your pull sort of like a weapon.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Rethold, even though you got the most raises, I'm gonna hold off on your action because it's gonna be dependent on what chaos happens elsewhere. You'll get to describe what the goal does next. Jimena, how does Jimena arrive atop Ship C?
Jimena takes a running leap and has a nice arc in her jump. And basically, like, Terminators onto Ship C, like, full 3-point landing, slowly raise up, and, like, if possible, like simultaneously spark and draw her sword at the same time so that she can light it as she's drawing it?
Oh yeah.
'Cause she's
You,
definitely showing off.
you've pulled jumping off ships a few times in the past,
Mhm.
and the momentum of the goal is going to aid you in this task. So basically, you're not just jumping to that ship. You're more or less getting slingshotted by the goal. And you time your jump perfectly. The crew on that ship seem like they're expecting hooks, like they're seeing with ship A. Instead, a person just vaults over the ship. And as they're watching you, like up in the air, like you feel pistols sort of starting to train on you. You even hear a couple shots detonating. You don't feel any of them hit you. And you land on the deck after having lit your sword in midair. You even feel as you hit the 3-point landing that the deck sort of got hotter the moment you landed on it. You feel like you can almost feel some embers sort of sparking around you as you land. It's way more noisy than you thought it was going to be. Almost sounds like a thunderclap for a second. A couple of the Marines aboard the ship, hardy as they are, take a step back as you arrive aboard Ship C. Weapon at the ready. There's some smoke around you, and Jimena gets to slowly take a rise as the bewildered crew is like, what is this? Not cannons, not pistol shots, just some crazy sword lady with a flaming blade landed among us. As an added benefit, Jimena, you feel you've at least demoralized part of the crew. They're not quite sure what to make of this situation, but no good can come of this.
Nice.
All right. Well, Marlena, you take focus of the captain. You try to shut down your read of the strands. It's a little difficult when you have to focus on somebody so closely. You get an impression that this person is pretty ruthless, so you don't feel too bad about what you're about to do. And you take a grab of him with your lash, which he doesn't feel at all. And when the moment feels just right, just when the wave hits the ship so, you give it a tug with all of your might. It seems like the ship is possessed for a second because the captain is 1 second barking orders and then he gets lifted off his feet and overboard. Which basically Willem scream all over again. But it's like a yank, right? Like it looks like he just ragdolls over the side of this boat. And yeah, the captain is gone from ship B, which from your vantage point, you can see not all of the crew has realized in that moment. The people that were close to him saw it happen.
Genya arrives. It's gonna be great.
But
Well, Jenny's on a different boat.
On B? I thought you were on B.
No, I'm on B. Aren't they on C?
No,
No,
she,
I chose to
she
get
pulled the captain
Okay.
off of B.
because I figured
Which
there's already
is-
2 people on the other one.
Yeah. So, but you notice that at least towards the front of the ship, they haven't realized that this happened. They're
Nice.
still getting ready. They're still waiting for orders. Like the people that were close to the captain just saw this moment, but he basically looked like somebody stuck a fish line in him and just reeled him off.
I mean, sort of.
Um,
He was yoked.
right. Some guy midship was running towards the captain, and you actually see him pause as he sort of looks around like, I just saw him like 2 seconds ago.
Now you're
Standing
all
in this spot.
mine.
Now it's gone. So
The
yeah,
invisible force yeeted the captain into the ocean.
yeah.
And then a crow landed and became a woman.
Yeah, basically, which is what happens next.
Yes, great timing.
Some commotion will settle on this ship at some point, but they haven't got time to realize their captain has been
Has been
yeeted off the ship because the bird that was flying towards them suddenly turns into a woman and starts just clocking Marines left and right.
Punching.
Love it.
This happens so fast that the crew doesn't really have much of a chance to adapt to this situation, what their life is like now.
This is my life now.
Right. There was a bird, then it was a woman, and oh my god, she's clocking our dudes. So yeah, you start to cut a swath between these guys, right? Fortunately for you, the movement of a ship lends itself pretty well to your usual fighting style as you keep low.
Yep.
And are started bobbing and weaving around and tackling them, taking somebody down to the deck, then moving on to the next.
I think I would be smart to also enable my riot breaker, just so I'm not taking as much damage as I should be.
Yes. You're cutting a swath through the mooks right now. Like you're downing them left and right, which has the weird effect of you're making the commotion worse because now you're attracting attention to the front of the ship. Meanwhile, there's people yelling in the back that the captain has been taken by something. People didn't really see what it was. Like he was talking and then it went, and he just vanished into oblivion.
So great.
So now there's sort of 2 hot spots on the ship. And as a result,
Perfect.
ship B is starting to drag. Not noticeably yet, but it's starting to drag.
Yeah,
Um,
that was the hope.
yeah. So that's happening on ship B. Meanwhile, back on ship C, Evine, I'm assuming you're trying to find yourself a proper shooting spot.
Yes.
After you poured it over, you arrived in the shadows. Again, 1 or 2 seconds to sort of get back your bearing. You're right below the mast. And you hear what sounds like a detonation followed by gunshots as Jimena has now arrived on the ship. You can swear you almost feel it when she lands. Like there was like an impact on the ship.
Sweet
But-
point landing, bro.
Correct. As has been your pattern traveling with this crew, it provides you with the perfect distraction with which to quickly scamper off and up the mast.
Mhm.
There's a pesky vigil on the crow's nest in your way,
Ugh.
but you've practiced this move a couple of times and you know how effective it is. You scamper off and you use all of your momentum to grab from the rope to him, perpendicularly to a shirt and pull yourself up, which has the result of you and him basically trade places, except he was not grabbing to the rope.
Yeah, I'm like hearing the Pirates of the Caribbean song right now, like
Right?
as this is happening.
So as you trade places, he finds himself wanting in the purchase department and plummets down to the deck below. And now you are perfectly positioned up on the crow's nest. Plus, they just lost their vigil, so their visibility is shot. Jimena, as you stand slowly in front of all these folks and make like a display, out of nowhere, the vigil plummets to the deck right next to the people you're looking at, like with a crazy thud. Like there's a crunch, and he just hits the deck at full force.
Nice.
The crew is not convinced that these two things are not your doing, so a
As
couple
soon
Marines
as,
take more of a step back.
like, as soon as the body hits the deck, like, there's like a very, very brief pause, and then Jimena like cocks her head and goes, "Hola."
Yeah.
Nuts.
There's some looks towards you, towards the fallen body, up to the vigil, and of course, nothing's up there. There's nothing up in that vigil. It's perfectly empty as far as they can tell. So yeah, a couple of the Marines take another step back. All right. So meanwhile, the crew of the Gull pulls hard on these ropes and manages to pull Ship A off of its pursuit course. So in a sense, now all three ships are off pursuit, which the other ship is clearly taken advantage of. And unfortunately for Ship A, as they're getting pulled off course, you see from that little graph that it's sort of pulling them towards the side, towards the Liberacion, which is almost playing chicken with the Ship A for a second and comes uncomfortably close as you see some fires start to pop up on the deck of Ship A as they pass by. You hear a couple of screams of, "These aren't cannon. What is this?" And there's some fires starting to pop up. There's a lot of yelling happening. You hear a loud scraping noise as they pass by. And then the Liberacion, being the faster ship, starts to break away, hoping to sort of go and turn sort of the opposite way, joining you in the middle of these three ships. So, Brethold, with all that, what would you like the Gull to do? Ship A is pretty much stuck to y'all right now.
So since the Liberation is sort of headed towards towards A.
Yep.
I'll basically just cradle the Liberation with the ropes, and then we can drop. We can drop the sails so that only our momentum is keeping us moving, and that way, and then we can start rehoisting sails real quick to put wind in them if we need to pivot to go back to B or to keep up with C.
Perfect.
Because basically we are going to want to we're going to want to deposit myself and Ricardo, or we're going to want our ship to stay amidst the things so that our snipers can take advantage. And then I'm going to find a
Absolutely.
ship to also jump out on. I I also have our signal flags report that if surrenders aren't ordered in short order, there will be no conditions. And to also signal the Lisso ship that they shouldn't go too far as they'll need to carry prisoners.
Yep. Perfect. Well, you get a 10, so you can assume that all of these maneuvers get pulled. You get a sense from reading this that the Liberacion are going to harass Ship A for the time being,
Sweet.
as they're pretty close to it, and yeah, like you can actually hear some of the crew scampering and sort of tackling this one. But yeah, your messages get sent out. Your read of the situation is that while they were blatantly ignored as, bullshit, when before these maneuvers started, there's at least a bit of a shift now. Like these people are for real. There's Ship B is sort of in complete chaos. Ship C is like not exactly quite sure what to make of it, but is very apprehensive. And Ship A is basically getting pulled and now getting tackled by a ship of madmen. So there's a clear, maybe we won't win this.
Ah, it's a beautiful Wednesday, isn't it?
There's a vibe. There's a certain vibe.
The way these ships were carrying themselves earlier, they were cocky as all hell, like this was just like a matter of course. Now it's maybe we won't make it.
The gods have come to check your hubris.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely right. Jimena, as that thought crosses your head, the albatross sings once more. And you know you're on the righteous path.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. We'll go for a next round of approaches and take stock of where we're at. I just saw your
What is it?
GIF, Lisa.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is like, so when they were releasing that movie, like I played that part of the trailer over so many times because I was just like, damn, I could look at this all day. And they were playing that Imagine Dragons Friction song over it, and I'm like, this is the best shit. I don't even need to watch the movie. This is all I need.
I'll just watch this. Somebody make a cut of this for me.
Someone-
And just like
can.
repeat it for 10 hours on
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's things like that where you're like, you get hype. I definitely, not that this movie isn't good, but there's definitely like movies I've watched where I'm like, that trailer made me so hype. Movie was all right, but I'll still watch the trailer anytime of day.
100%. Some trailers are great. They're their own cinematic masterpieces. It's like, this is not what I thought this movie was about. I'll watch
Well,
this.
The people going into like editing, and it's a whole branch now.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's gorgeous.
trailer editing, it's its own craft, which is crazy.
Yep. But yeah, just imagine this petite girl with a reddish brown braid dropping
Yep.
onto your ship and going and just dropping
So,
bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Jenya's gonna do. She's trying to take down as many people as she can, and then she's gonna drop below to where the cannons are and just kick cannons off of the boat.
There you go.
Aw, we can use those later.
Well, I told you.
I know, it's fine. It's fine.
She'll pick up a cannon and throw it and hit everybody else with
Follow
it.
your
Sure.
heart. Follow your,
You know,
follow
if you
your
tell
joy.
her, she'll dive and bring that cannon back up.
Although I'm not sure how Zhenya swims because that's a
That's right.
Oh yeah, you gotta find the sea creature.
yeah.
Yeah.
Zhenya, since she's so close to Matushka, the water is a Chernobog thing, so it's not exactly her friend.
That's right. You need to observe it and Nessie.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Kraken, but okay.
I think she would make a really good shark.
That's true.
Yeah. Keep
Um,
her friendly.
okay, so
Approaches?
Killer whale.
Genya and Jimena actually.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta give those people a turn, I guess.
I guess.
Jimena, you'll take 1 dramatic wound. Genya, you take 2.
All right. Does that give me another hero point?
It sure does.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
As volleys of shots hit you both, but are suddenly answered again by shots from the gull. And your own gunners are now taking part of the action. Genya, one of the gunners that shot at you almost immediately, like his head just explodes. Almost immediately after he shot you. The gun is still smoking. Which is as close as a hi honey that you are gonna get.
Blows a kiss.
How dare you shoot my wife?
That's
Well, the
right.
last time someone shot my husband, I
Yeah.
did rip apart everyone in front of me.
That's right.
That's true.
So
You shoot my wife. You shoot my wife.
right.
And
You
your
wanna
wife.
shoot my wife?
Water.
I start back to think of how I got so pissed is when you shot my wife.
Where are we now? Are we close to any of the ships at this point?
You're pretty close to sea. Although with Rethol's maneuver, you're going to start to drift a little bit and sort of stay a little bit equidistant. But you could make sea if you wanted to board a ship.
I don't know if I really want to board one. I just want to see who else I can mess with.
Well, you can see. You're pretty close to ship C, so you can see a lot of the crew on there. A lot of the attention is focused on Jimena right now.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to do, or my idea anyway, is that I want to replace and activate the hubris of the captain on sea.
Okay. Yeah, you can identify the captain. You've identified him last turn.
Oh, I guess I did. So actually, can we look again?
Yeah.
I mean, I had an idea before on this, but now I'm thinking maybe a different one will work better.
It's going to be a resolve empathy if you're
All right. Yeah.
going to mess with him.
Of course, I'm gonna mess with him.
All right. Approaches.
Okay.
I'm assuming Genya is going to continue to carnage.
Yeah.
You know
I
what to do.
I think this time she'll pull up her blades.
Okay.
So
You know what to do.
I know what to do.
Rico, you know what to do.
I'm a shoot a thing.
Yeah. Oh, you're in perfect view.
Which ship seems to have the like Commodore or Commander?
You would say A.
Okay.
Nice.
Mhm.
I rolled 3 10s.
Ooh.
Nice.
Woot woot. I have to actually keep math for this one. Shit.
There you go.
John,
Yep.
whereabouts did Jimena get shot?
He, let's say A.
Whereabouts did Jimena get shot?
He would say A.
Jimena get shot?
Um, Well, it's one dramatic wound, so I would say this is an arm shot, not your sword arm.
And is it like the bullet's still in there, the bullet went through, or more of a grazing shot?
With one dramatic wound, it hit you. It's more than a graze,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay.
I think because sailors are superstitious, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
And kind of work it as work it to give them a feeling of they've done something bad, and that's why they're being visited by these supernatural
Sure.
things.
Sure.
And they should probably, either surrender or despair because their lives are forfeit.
Well, whatever Jimena does will assist your.
Well, so the first thing Jimena's going to do is to activate her virtue, which is courageous, which means I
Nice.
get a bonus dice equal to the fear rating of my targets.
Your
Yeah.
rating? Oh, cool. I'm gonna help you with that.
Nice.
And then as she's standing there, she gets shot in her arm, and she's just going to take her flaming sword and put it straight to the wound to cauterize it,
Perfect.
and then take her stance and give a come at me, bro, finger wave
Perfect.
at the crew.
All panache.
Yep.
All the time. Roll me panache intimidate. And give yourself a couple extra dice for that fear rating.
Oh God. I don't know where it went. Okay, well.
I think we got another 10.
Okay.
Oh, I need the book again. Damn it. I forgot to remind myself what
does that do?
Rethel, or so it seems like the ships are becoming. It seems like all three of the ships are no longer invested in the pursuit immediately.
They have more pressing matters right now.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So I'm going to turn to the first mate or the helmsman and tell them that they have the bridge and that I'm going to pursue a diplomatic solution.
Okay.
How far away is ship A?
Well, you can probably make it. There's ropes attached to it too, so
I'm
you
rolling
can-
maxed brawn plus sailing, so
you do it. You take one look at this and you're like, doable.
yeah. So somehow my long jacket is still on, but the shirt is gone.
That's right.
So you can see all the scars, which are still fresh and angry from
Yep.
my raucous in the square. And
Little do you all know, Rethold can pull the taking up your bra without taking up your shirt move, but with his
right.
shirt under his coat.
right. I have quick release
It's like
shirt.
in Zoolander when you take your underpants
Yep.
off without taking your pants
Yep.
off.
Basically, yep.
Jimena got 7
Perfect.
for her intimidate.
You counted your couple extra dice for fear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Adding on to that, I would like to not kill, but just aim for a shoulder or something. The guy who shot Jimena and
Oh,
who she's
yeah.
currently glaring at.
Not me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Go ahead. Aim.
So
Finesse aim.
it's just an arrow has materialized because
That's
she's
right.
glaring.
Yep. We looked up there. There's nothing up there.
Come on, 10. Ooh, 2. Three. This is going to be an
It might
overkill
not
roll.
be outside.
Get a 7, Tony?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've got the axes out, so I'll just use those to scale if I don't clear it. You know, it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get a hero point for putting self in danger in order to ensure a place at the Allfather's table?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's
This
pretty
is
metal.
this is the kind of shit that the Allfather is
Gets jacked
like-
for.
Oh, yeah. He lives for that shit.
There's
I mean-
clearly something important about that one ship. Or would we say that this is a noble cause that we're fighting
Whether
for?
we know it or not.
For you, Jimena, it absolutely is because you've been getting fucking like omens
Albatross.
all day.
Albatross.
So then can I get a hero point for turning to my sword to fight for a noble cause?
Yes,
Thank you.
100%. Right
So
now,
that's a
you
10.
you are Theus's agent. What was that? Evine?
That is a 10.
10. Oh my god, that you that ship.
Yeah, they're not having a good time.
Here's
At
what
all.
These
happened.
dudes are going to, like, even the ones that survive are not going to be able to recover, like, psychologically. From
No, not from Evine.
Here's what happens on ship C. Jimena recovers from being shot at by cauterizing the wound with her sword, leading some of the Marines to whisper that perhaps this woman cannot be killed. Or at least not fast enough. As this is all happening, the captain of the ship blanches. Something just triggered in him, and suddenly, if you thought you'd been seeing omens all day, Jimena, he's recognizing some fucking Nostradamus shit right now, and he looks freaked out, right? Like he's looking at Jimena and he freezes in the middle of giving his next order because he is like, the next words that come out of my mouth
They're gonna trigger the apocalypse.
may just send the ship under. And as he's pondering this, the man who took a shot at Jimena has his shoulder just turn into ground meat by what looks like an arrow that nobody saw coming. It also makes no sense because it looks like it's coming from above, and as we've well established, nothing is above. No one else but Jimena has jumped aboard this ship. So an arrow from the heavens has struck this man down after he shot Jimena, and now the flames around Jimena's sword seem a lot more holy. The captain
There's a story about this flaming sword, I'm sure of it.
in Castilian immediately yells above everything, "Please put your weapons down. We will harm you no further. Please
Himena's
stay
like,
your retribution. My men are only following orders. I will take full responsibility. If you have to kill someone, please let it be me."
Oh shit! Well,
Jimena kind of turns to you like, well, that's no fun. And she's like, still looking at the captain. She just kind of takes her, like, the butt of her sword and just sort of blindly, like, smacks the guy closest to her with it.
He dares not meet your gaze. As he gets smacked down, he rolls onto the deck and stays down.
And Jimena is just like, well, this wasn't my plan, but I suppose it is better.
I guess.
Let's work. She turns around to the Marines, like, all of you go stand over there. Just go stand over there.
Just
Yeah,
jump off
there's-
the edge of the boat.
Even the ones that are not necessarily convinced you are what the captain says you are,
If
they're not going to fight the order of things right now, and the captain just looks freaked out.
if they don't start moving, like as soon as she says that, she runs her hands down her sword and, like, whips out her, like, the fire whip and, like, cracks on the deck, and, like, over there.
Yeah, it speeds things up. Evine, you can see all of this from your vantage point above. Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna have
there's
to make Evine some like gold tipped arrows just to like.
you hear the man you shot just grunting and yelling in pain as he's getting carted by his fellow soldiers because it got told to move. But there's a heated discussion as to whether he should remove this thing from him or not. So
yeah, because it's a holy arrow now.
there's some legit back and forth about whether this is just meant as something he has to live with now and just stick in there. And there's clearly like multiple camps on there with some of the Marines being experts in these matters, expressing what needs to be done. That you should tip it off and then use whiskey to dab it and make a proper offering of it. Some of them are like, you should take it off, but not throw it away. You need to keep it with you at all times. So there's many schools of thought as to what to do with this arrow that came from the heavens.
And the dogma began.
Can Jimena hear this?
Oh yeah.
She just walks over. She breaks the head of the arrow off and goes, and like she breaks the head of the arrow off, goes, here, bite this. And then she just pulls the rest of it out the back.
Oh, well. There is.
And then she holds, she's like, okay, you biting it? You're biting it. Okay. And then she just holds the sword up to his arm.
You get like first a yelp of being startled, followed by a scream of pain as he's biting through this arrow, and the scream of pain changes into like a thank you as he's just yelling right in the arrow out.
Yeah,
It's been marked.
Yeah, now he's been marked. He's gonna follow you forever. Watch out.
Some of the Marines, now that they're on this side of the boat, are actually watching the calamity on the other ships and that tends to lend credence to this theory. The captain is fully sold at this point. He makes a clear gesture of offering you his sword.
Ooh, new sword, a captain's sword, mind you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's a nice sword.
on the condition that if there is punishment to be exacted, it be exacted upon him and him alone, as his
What a-
crew were only doing their job.
What a good captain.
Right?
Yeah. What
I
a,
think maybe we can do
You-
something with that.
You seem like a
you seem like a Jose.
stand-up guy. I
feel about the
accept
name
your
Jose.
sword.
That's right. You need a new one, Capitan Jose.
Riffle's not sold yet.
What is your name? Sir Captain.
Miguel.
Not
Slap
anymore.
him and you say, "No, your name is Jose."
Miguel? That's a good name. I know a better one though.
Yes.
Oh, so great.
There's clearly like a puzzled attitude as he's still offering his sword to you, but he dare not question it. Of course, you know a better name.
You are divine. You know all names.
She takes his sword and then she like waves it in the air and she's like, "Hey, you should tell them the ship is good."
One of the crew members scampers from the side and starts to signal. Rethold, you can see this before you jump.
Oh, I thought it was from the side of the ship, but that works too. As I'm running, I'm like, "Oh, good."
That's even better. Yeah, that ship has been secured.
Superb.
All right. Meanwhile, on ship B,
Jenny's not playing anymore. She pulled out her knives.
no. And there's even more commotion now because you hear some shouting about something happening on one of the other ships. Like it's not moving or something, and it's surrendering maybe. You hear somebody from the back, like, just clearly has been having a day, a week, a month, like you name it, like because there's a
Clap,
clear
clap, clap,
in
clap.
Castilian, like it's just a pure exasperation at this point, where it's like, well, Captain is missing, so we can't even surrender.
Oh boy.
Which is clearly false, right? Because somebody else has now taken over, but this guy is not having it at this point. This is too much.
Oh, poor thing. I'll make it quick.
So you continue to make your way towards the back of the ship where the new command is starting to get established, and you're mowing down at this point with the knives, so it gets messier and deadlier
Yeah.
because you sucked some guys out. Like maybe some of them might have died, you don't know, but most of them would probably have recovered. None of the
when you have
knives have
your
come up.
nasal cavities stuffed up into your brain, it's
Yep,
kind of hard
yep.
to come back.
Yep. But they had more of a shot at survival. Now they don't. So
They did the dishonorable thing and shot me. So now they all have to die.
are you expressing anything, saying any words as you're carnaging your way through this ship?
I mean, if she does, it's in Usuran anyway. So she,
Well, clearly the crew is expressing this as your violent temper is escalating because you jumped on board and started knocking people out. Now the knives have come out and people are getting mauled, maimed, and killed. There's already talk of following suit with the sister ship and surrendering at this point. Some insufferable Marine reminds everybody that offer was on the table from the get-go, and people laughed at it just a moment ago, but
No one can live.
right.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, they told us.
This was your choice.
So you find as you kill your way towards the center of the ship, Zhenya, that the resistance is less enthusiastic than when you started this murder spree. And people are starting to pull back a little bit. And finally, a lady steps forward and just waves a hand at you. Like she's not even sure you can understand her because they're just hearing you speak in your foreign moon language. And so she's waving a hand like in front of your face, like as if I'm not even sure if you can see me right now through the red hot rage.
Oh, she'll stop.
But she says in Castilian again, like, all right, stop killing the people of this ship. As acting captain, we give up. What do you want?
She stops and puts her knives away and says in Castilian, "Oh, all right. I'm glad you have decided to surrender."
She looks past you at the scene of carnage, just on the ship. And she looks around at the vacant space where her captain once stood, and just, and it's just, that's all. You just wanted us to stop?
Of course. But you fought back. So
She looks towards the ship that you all came upon, looks at the flag above, and then he's like, well, we surrender. This is I don't understand, but clearly you can tear through the ship, and 1 out of 3 has already raised the white flag. So
do you need help raising yours?
we can do that on our own.
Wonderful.
We're on it. We got people on it right now.
Good.
One,
Maybe there's a pill for that.
I don't need help. Just give me a minute.
Oh.
The sailor who helpfully expressed that surrender was on the table quite a while ago goes and raises that white flag.
Good man.
There's quite a lot of glares sent his way.
Mm-hmm. Zhenya like does her best to like smudge blood off her face and then turns back to the gull and Smiley goes, "This one's ready too."
Perfect. This really drives the point home. Rethold, you jump on ship A, who weirdly enough seemed a little unaware of what's happening, because you see that some of the sailors from La Liberacion are climbing aboard. There's fires on the ship. Some sort of oil has been thrown on board. It's leading the crew to cuss quite a bit because the first reflex has been to toss water at it, and that just made it spread.
Right.
Oh no.
So
That's not how you do
yeah, and you hear the ravings of somebody from below on the ship trying to tell them to bring her around. 20 guilders to the man who brings the head of the captain down to La Liberacion. And
I'm guessing the person shouting this has the tallest hat.
The most feathers.
well, this is coming from La Liberacion itself. The man has no hat and is not wearing much. You're basically seeing what Evine saw when she got on the ship. He's wearing a coat, a
Right.
pair of trousers,
Right.
and weaponry. That's it.
I meant the one shouting 50 guilders.
Oh no, this is coming from La Liberacion.
Oh.
That captain is basically wanting the captain's head back on the Liberacion.
Got it.
And that seems to spark some fervor into the rest of the mates. You do see the person with the tallest hat, though, and this is clearly you know your navy.
Mhm.
This is a career Castilian navy man.
So, am I going to need another round of raises to pounce on him, or?
Oh no, you've done that. That was
yeah.
the rope stuff was easy for you. So you're going to be able to pounce directly on him. He has the face. At this point, it's almost a mercy because you've seen that face before on some really bad expeditions. This is the face of a man who was on a supposedly easy mission, who managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And he does not know how to reconcile that fact. So your pouncing on him will be doing him a kindness.
So I'm guessing because I've landed from a different egress than the rest of the shenanigans. I basically just take the strides up, and I hold one axe up under the neck, and I go, and I say, "Hello," and I point with the
ridiculous people.
and I point with the other blade slowly out from the line of vision so that his eyes can follow it to the other ships, and I say, "Your squadron has surrendered, and the man down there who's not talking quietly wants to give 50 guilders for your head. I don't need that kind of money, so I suggest you surrender."
He looks at the situation for a bit, looks back at the ships, clearly now displaying a white flag.
And I'm watching to make sure no one else is coming in. I'm like, let him do the math.
Yeah, I mean, not only has he failed, but now he's looking at potentially losing 3 ships of the Castilian Armada, which is not great for his military record. So there is a moment, and as he is pondering this, their gunners are letting loose another volley, and he immediately loses his cool the moment they shoot.
I back the axe up because I'm seeing that the math has started to work out, but yeah.
He basically just yells in Castilian. I can't remember if you speak Castilian or no, but he shouts and exasperated, like, nobody does anything until I order you otherwise, and that includes surrendering. And he sort of looks around and takes another stock. As these last shots were fired, those of you who are back on the Gull, a few of these shots did make it to the Gull itself. Obviously, yes, Amanda, thank you. A few of the shots do make it to the Gull, forcing some of the crew to scamper to safety. And one of those shots was aimed at Veronica. But before Veronica could get shot, a figure on ship A kicked a rifle out of somebody's hand. And those of you on the Gaul recognize well, it takes a moment, in fact, to recognize that figure because Jorge is on ship A. He seems to have grown an inch.
Ooh.
His chest is now exposed, and he's grown a beard,
Oh no.
which it just seemed impossible the last time you saw him.
Just
There was
mere
an
weeks
attempt.
ago.
But as he kicks that rifle, he sort of looks towards the Gaul and tips his hat at Veronica before returning to the melee at hand.
Ooh, do I see that?
Roll me a wits plus notice. You're on a different ship, but
Yeah. Always watching my sister.
Yeah, that is a high priority target. Yeah.
yeah.
Close the door all the way.
Yeah, Jorge has emerged from his cocoon. A slick, beautiful pirate of a man, apparently.
Just a delicious brown.
Oh yeah. He's definitely put in the work.
That is some salted caramel right there.
There you go.
Jimena, the albatross rings one more time, and this time you're certain everybody around you has heard it. As everybody starts to look above.
Albatross suddenly starts playing Careless Whispers.
That's right. It starts to play Dio's Rainbow in the Dark.
Rainbow in the dark.
That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you notice that exchange. You also recognize Jorge.
Huh.
At first, you're like, "Oh, is that Jorge's dad?" But no.
More like Jorge Daddy.
Hey.
Zhenya basically marks the gunman, and when this is over, she will find that gunman. If they're still alive. He'll wish he hadn't been.
But yeah, after a moment taking stock of the situation, not quite in silence because La Liberación is quite loud, and they're making a ruckus, which sort of weighs into it. The captain lets out a long sigh and says, "The ship is yours. We surrender."
As soon as I see the sword or the pistol or whatever he has clatter, I grab him, partly to protect him at this point, but also to make sure I have control of it. And I start shouting down to the Liberation crew that to stand down, that this is, that the day is ours, and we'll let them, and to put out those damn flames if we want this ship to survive.
Yep. The shouts that you get are a mix of victory cries and cries of disappointment, depending on the person.
I get the energy. Yeah, all right.
But the captain says, "Well, what do you know? La Liberación lives one more day. Good job." And there's a yell and a bellow at that. And he sort of yells over the railing, "Whoever you are out there, know that La Liberación owes you a debt and always pays its debt. Name it, it is yours."
I want that man right there.
We'll see about that, but no, I'm sure that one's for free.
Don't we need some help
Yeah.
in San Felipe later?
I would say Zhenya waits on her boat until someone comes to take over the whole like acquisition of the boat.
Right.
But then afterwards, she's gonna fly over to A.
But yeah, I acknowledge this discussion with the captain and Alexander.
Alejandro de Leon.
Yeah, I acknowledge this exchange with Alejandro, and I tell him to, I say, yeah, you may want to stick around for the final disposition of this situation as we're pressed for time.
Well, that makes sense to me. He sort of clears his throat and he's like points to the other ship who's now starting to make its way.
I've
back
already
to
nudged the admiral to signal around
right
that we're all to convene.
He points to them and he's like, friends of yours
At the
ship that was being pursued.
Is Alejandro asking or the
Yep, Alejandro is asking,
and I look over and I say, I sort of take a long pause and look over at the gull. I go, fellow countrymen, I was wondering what our own navy was doing harassing us.
they're always up to no good.
Well,
We came across the whole thing, didn't get a chance to get an explanation. We just decided to help.
I pat the like commander roughly. I go, maybe we can find out.
So, quick nosebleed. While all of this is happening, since basically this captain on my ship is like, no, I'll do whatever you want.
Yep.
I feel like Jimena probably would have asked him this. Like,
Right.
so what were you even doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what is all this about?
At first, like, he seems afraid to say, not because he's trying to hide shit from you, but because he's genuinely concerned
You're gonna hurt his
what the
immortal soul.
response is going to do to him and his crew, right? So he starts by saying that this is a merchant ship from Liso carrying sensitive goods that we were told to take down. And Jimena, you know full well that there's way more to the story because
Like, as soon as he says sensitive goods, Jimena remembers the last time someone told her the last couple times someone told her then that there were sensitive goods on the
That's
ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you clearly will not take that as an answer, so he revises it a couple times, adding a bit more details each time. And finally, at the end, he says, look, I will say straight out that I am devout. And I follow orders like any soldier would. The reports that we got is that this ship, while a shipping company, one or more of the crew members are part of the Invisible College and have taken hold of items that His Eminency Cardinal Verdugo wanted recovered or destroyed.
Okay.
As soon as he says Cardinal Verdugo,
No, you didn't.
Jimena has to like her sword, which is still on fire. She hasn't put it out yet. Like, the flames on it go blue, and then she kind of has to like take a breath.
There's an instinctive, like, he doesn't flinch at the sword, but like there's almost an instinctive like leaning forward as this happens. Like he's half expecting you're gonna take his head, and now that it's out, he's just gonna take it.
Yeah, she takes a breath, and like as she exhales, like the fire just like extinguishes, and she's like, I don't think that I have the authority to do anything on this ship, but I'm going to tell you right now that that's not going to happen. Like,
That
it's like, no. just no.
that much.
I don't know
seems
what's
clear.
over there. That part's not important. The part that's important to me is that Cardinal, whatever his fucking name is, doesn't get it if he wants it.
He takes a pause, then says, after what I've seen today, you will find no quarrel from me. Clearly, I am on the wrong side of this conflict and have enough sense to recognize it. The portents do not lie. You will find no resistance from me.
She like sheaths her sword and like pats him on the shoulder. She's like, "You're a good guy."
He, oddly enough, that seems to be the thing that makes him flinch more. But
The heavenly
he
being
says,
wants me.
Theus speaks sometimes in more concealed ways than others, but what happened today cannot be coincidence. I recognize I may have served on the wrong side in this matter.
Jimena just kind of she turns. So she's been facing him. She turns to face the rest of the crew and like throws her arm around the captain's shoulder, and is like, "You should all be very proud of your captain. He's a good man."
He attempts to sort of take some pride out of that comment, but there is a part of shame in standing in front there. This man has been deeply shaken at this point. So he's sort of there's a point of like, if it's just been a bad guy this whole time, like you're sending him in a existential tailspin, right?
I started it. You bring it home.
Then Jimena asks if there's any ale on this ship. We're having a good time on Jimena's ship. I don't know.
You get a couple and Castilian wine.
Ooh. And at this, like, I feel like, are all the sailors Castilian? I mean, it's the Castilian Navy.
Yeah. By and large.
Okay, yeah. So, like, I feel like up to this point, she probably would have been speaking either in Fian, just because it's slightly more threatening, I feel like, since they all speak Castilian, or she would have been talking in, like, super proper Castilian. And I think at this point, she just drops into whatever her dialect vernacular is. And it's like, hey!
Oh, yeah.
Party on Ship C.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Party
right.
on ship C.
There's you can tell, like, just because you're Castilian, like most of the crew is Castilian. Most of the crew seems to be from Aldana. So
And that's the kind of sword fighting I know how to do.
yep.
Yeah.
So yeah. That ship at least is having a good time. Ship B is thoroughly confused. Ship A now, Zhenya, you port over there. There's a lot more hullabaloo happening on Ship A because people are starting to talk through what happens now, that everybody has surrendered, and There's discussions of spoils. What spoils? Well, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Jenny like just pushes through people until she finds the shooter, walks up to him and rips his trigger finger off.
Oh well.
Nice.
He was already nursing a broken nose, and that is yeah.
And then she points it in his face and says, "You will never do that again." Throws it
Yeah.
overboard.
If I'm anywhere nearby, I just say, "Ooh, he's lucky." He shows restraint. That's
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Um, yeah, that's intense because the only response you get is just like yelling from a ripped finger, and yeah, he's just laying on the ground. A couple of his buddies come to help him out, but he's in intense pain.
Apply pressure, elevate.
And then she hops back to go reconvene with Veronica.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I'd actually sort of in that line, I would have had the goal drop back to be to actually have Xenia, Ricardo, and Veronica sort of take over as probably with like one other hand, take over as lead on ship B.
Perfect.
Um,
Yeah.
Well,
So
for now, no, let me back on that one. I would have signaled the Lisso ship to come about to talk to them because what I want to do is leave these. I want every ship but us to head straight to San Felipe
mhm.
so that we have these ships locked down for whatever's coming. We've got prisoners, or if they want to be temporarily redeployed in Odiseo, because we're still trying to keep this like diplomatic situation
Sure.
going.
Sure.
But yeah, basically, so we talked to the Liso ship.
Yeah, so they're coming around. You haven't had a chance to talk to them yet, but they're gonna be coming around.
Okay.
Distance. They
'Cause,
were
yeah.
being pursued.
So if I can
So-
get members of the Liso ship and the Liberation to take over as captains for A, B, and C, and also guards, and pseudo moving some of the less cowed soldiers to the two escort ships, they can continue on to San Felipe so that we have them in a safe space, because we still need to get to San Jose. Or they can take them to San Jose.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Options. Well,
I feel like it'd be more useful to have 3 crews of Navy and Marines on in an actual city with an actual fortress, as opposed to our palisade,
right.
because we
That's
don't
true.
have that many forces out in San Jose. It's more of an outpost. So yeah, no, we'll have them push on to San Felipe. But
I mean, my boat
alright.
will do whatever we tell them to.
right, which is
Basically.
great. And if they're there to
We'll do a conversation with that Liso ship
yes,
when we reconvene.
Yep.
But before we break, let's do one more roll for you all to see if the words invisible college mean anything to you.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's a wits plus scholarship.
Jimena.
Yep.
I thought I
I
had one
think it's come up before with Jimena.
Yeah, Jimena would probably have a pretty good inkling. Roll it anyways.
Yeah,
Jimena, but Jimena
I think
probably
it's somewhere
knows.
in my notes, but I don't know where. So what
Yeah,
is it?
Scholarship. With scholarship.
Scholarship? Okay.
Is there anything I can do other than scholarship? I have a point, but I can do it.
Probably not for this one.
Okay.
No, scholarship would be it.
I got 6.
6.
Nice.
I got 2.
2.
I'm still rolling. Or I mean, still adding.
Yeah. I managed to pull off 4.
4?
I think Tony knows as much as Rethold actually at this point,
Yeah.
because I've inferred what the cargo is, so I have a guess about what this college is. But
Jimena got 6.
big.
6. Perfect.
I did not go to college.
10.
10. Well,
You better know.
you know, that was part of your briefings.
Yep.
So, Jenya, you've heard the words whispered before. You're not exactly sure what it is. It's like a secret club of some kind,
Yeah.
like secret handshakes and stuff like that. But you don't know exactly what for. The one secret club you do
Just
know,
like any secret club.
because you love that idea, is and I'm not gonna say it in the native tongue because it's I will butcher it, but it translates to Mother Shawl, and it's in the Commonwealth, in Sarmatia, and
Mhm.
it's basically like a secret club that helps. Basically, like they're a relief organization. They're like humanitarians,
Yeah.
and you've crossed path with them before because like they help like give supplies to soldiers and help like injured people after conflicts, and so that's the one you know. Like that's the only cool secret club Genia would care about.
And the crows.
And the crows, but the crows are
Yeah.
they're soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't have like the cloak and dagger shit that
No.
this particular club does.
Yeah.
Those of you who rolled 4 and up, you might have various degrees as to whether you think this group is a real deal or not, but the Invisible College is in some ways the anti-Inquisition. Their goal is the preservation of knowledge that the Inquisition wants to see buried, the protection of political activists, scientists, anybody who might be declared an heretic by the church can find itself under the protection of the Invisible College. So they have membership all over Thea, and are particularly appealing to professors, philosophers, and thinkers in all kind, but also soldiers who feel it a righteous cause to protect knowledge and protect people that are persecuted when the church goes out of bounds.
Man, what does Yvonne get with a 10? Like, does she actually know members of it?
Yvonne,
He knows the handshake.
He has an honorary membership.
Yeah.
with 10,
Their point
Yvonne, if they are from Liso, you're quite sure you know their chapter leader. Yeah, you're pretty well aware of who's running the show in that part of the country. So not only do you know about them, you have a fairly good idea of how they're structured in that neck of the woods.
Nice.
If they have something and they were pursued by 3 Armada ships, it's very likely either really hot and heretical items, may be related to sorcery, or even worse, it may have internal knowledge of the Inquisition itself, because the Inquisition doesn't like to make flashy, splashy moves like this often. So whatever is in that ship, probably some pretty hot stuff.
Oh, well, I bet, oh my god, what's his name? Mazavi will be interested in that if it's
Oh, well,
the latter.
there
Oh
we
yeah.
So next time
All right.
we'll tackle what that looks like. Is 11:30.
Oh,
Time
yeah.
flies when we're having fun. It's been a while. I missed this,
Yes.
folks. So thanks
Alright.
for assembling and playing tonight.
But like,
Get
even
yourself
if
a-
we don't play for a while, it's like riding a bike.
Well,
Anyway,
it's your favorite pair of pants. right? You just
Oh,
put
yeah.
them on, and you're like, "Oh, this is why I like these pants."
It's a cozy
Mhm.
sweater.
Give yourself good